Hello, welcome to our 9th week of D&D. I am Dungeon Master Jack, and this week we have Chris playing you,
Hi, everybody.
Travis playing Azir,
Hi, everybody.
David playing Vincent,
How's it going, everybody?
Christian playing Relentless, and Justin playing Hrothgar.
Hey, sexies.
And Tony, who plays Ocelot, is currently on the road right now and will unfortunately probably not make it tonight. And Katie, who plays Aylin, is sick and out of town, so she will not be here either. And last week, in our adventure, after defeating the bandits the second time they showed up, the gentleman thief, unfortunately, escaping again, you find yourselves, as the light comes up, with a single bandit you has tied up and kept alive.
Oh, I forgot about that guy.
And the morning comes up, and the merchant informs you, we only have another day or travel. We'll probably get to the city around dusk, and the sun starts to descend, so I'll prepare the money for you guys, and thank you for all the protection.
Is he talking to Relentless?
He's looking at all of you and speaking to all of you as you eat breakfast. And they're preparing the carts, and you have a couple minutes before you hit the road.
Where's my my new friend? Is he currently still in the cart?
He's where you left him, tied up in the cart.
Fantastic. These are our carts. We're taking them again, yes?
You have your cart, and the merchants have their 2 carts.
Okay, gotcha. Do we plan to stay here for the night? Or
No, it's morning. You're getting ready to go.
Okay. Oh, wait.
You're going to be in the city by nightfall.
You can't sacrifice in the daylight? Is that what we're getting at?
Oh, no. I'm waiting until nighttime.
Just a courteous, so no
Mm.
one can see, or what?
No. Just part of my ordeal. In the dead of the night is the best time to make your sacrifices.
This is just an honest cleric doing an honest day's work. Why are you interrogating him?
Yeah, jeez.
First of all, that was out of character. Second of all, he scares me. And I'm not afraid to admit it.
That was out of character too. I didn't try and fail to do an accent before it.
Look at his creepy face. Every time I look at it, he's so innocent, but what lurks behind those big owl eyes, who knows?
We do know, and that's what's terrifying.
Murder. Capital M. Extra dur.
Extra dirt.
Alright, well, check it out. DM, Jack. I have Wanderer feature from my background, and it says, I have an excellent memory for maps and geography and can always recall, general layouts of trains, blah, blah, blah. And I can also find fresh water and food for myself and up to 5 others. Is it conceivable that in the wee hours of the morning, I could have slipped away, collected a wooden bowl full of squirrel eyeballs as my food for that feature to bring to my owl friend?
Give me a survival check.
Okay.
Could you look for some meat as well?
I found it. It's on your back. It's on your belt, I think.
I unlocked your tokens, by the way. Yeah, you go out, you find enough food for everybody, mainly squirrels.
Gotcha.
Berries, some nuts.
Alright, so I will have skinned the squirrels, cooked some squirrel stew for everybody, but I've saved the eyeballs in a separate bowl for you, and I'm carrying them over to you.
You graciously takes the bowl. and begins to pop one in his mouth as you are standing there still.
Hrothgar kind of winces when you crunch down on it. A deal's a deal.
Would you like to try one of these?
Oh, I don't think I should. But he looks around conspicuously. Maybe just one that look a little more gratifying. I'll do maybe a Constitution save, Jack. I'll try to eat this eyeball.
That's what it was last time.
Yes.
Ow.
It's not the most pleasing thing you.
Oh,
But it's like a grape. In size and everything else.
These are really
No.
great, Hrothgar. Thank you. They're quite squishy, very juicy, aren't they?
They're like gushers, aren't they? The 90s kids will know. Yeah, I don't know that I would eat that every day for breakfast, but in a pinch, sure.
We're talking about 90s kids. I got a packet of Gushers right here.
Yeah,
Pop
but
an
they
eyeball
haven't
in.
advertised since the 90s, have they?
No, they're still around. They have a weird commercial now.
Fair enough, I just don't watch where they would advertise, I guess.
It's like Nickelodeon and such.
Well, I'll go around and pass out the stew to the other people. Fresh squirrel stew. Everybody, please enjoy.
They all accept. Well, Ocelot and Aelin accept the stew. I don't
Does
know
she
if
look
I've
me in the
ever-
eyes when I hand it to her?
No.
Perfect. A+ roleplay. Oh, did you need help getting that body in our cart, or?
I thought we said it was in the cart.
Oh, it's already in the cart. Okay, good.
If not, then I will accept your offer. But I think it's already there.
It's already there.
Alright, cool.
All right, then Hrothgar climbs in the cart. He's ready to go.
Everybody else?
I'm eat this bowl of stew and jump in the cart. I'm gonna clean off my. Relentless is gonna clean off his weapons after just murdering those two guys, and he's just admiring them in awe. Like, man, these things are awesome. And he's wiping the blood off of them as he climbs into the cart and grabs the reins.
Azir sits the bowl of stew next to him and somehow produces a bowl of hummus and naan bread and is eating that for dinner now. Or breakfast.
All right.
You was gonna perch on the cart above his
Jorn
Gora
Gora is standing next to your cart and looks down at Hrothgar. Is looking down at Hrothgar, like she's gonna just follow you.
Yeah, she's got a long stride. That shouldn't be a problem.
And you guys set off on the road. Everyone give me perception checks.
We ain't seen shit.
Vincent always
Oh
sees.
god.
The all-seeing eye. I'm not sure.
Oh, I just realized I don't know if I told you guys this. I was 90% sure I did. That all-seeing eye thing is a little bit of a joke because my character is wearing an eye patch.
I did not know that.
I didn't know that either.
Which
I apologize then. I meant to say that in the first session. Left eye.
eye? Okay, so you only look at us with your right eye?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, he could look at us with his left. You just ain't go see shit.
It's a small two-way mirror. Is that what you're saying?
I want you to know that Azir will always try to be on the left-hand side of you from this point forward.
I am completely okay with that.
All right, you travel down the road. For the most part, everybody's kind of looking around, but not really. Vincent, you're basically keeping watch out, but all you see is carts, and then about noon. By the way, since you sure your kitten is twitching, is doing a live stream right now. That was what my phone just did. And around noontime, your bandit buddy wakes up. And he's looking around and he's like, realizes that he's tied up. And he's like, "Oh, you're taking me in."
Thought I gagged this man.
Did you gag him? You just
I
told
did.
me you tied him up.
Oh.
Okay. Then you hear the
Hearing him move, look into his direction, and tell him if he stays quiet and answers our questions, you'll live through this trip. Presuming he's agreed, I loosen his gag.
So where are you taking me?
This way. But the questions aren't for you to ask.
He like rolls around and kind of tries and looks around the cart, like he doesn't understand where you're symboling.
The questions aren't for you to ask, though. You're the one to answer the questions. Now, what is your master's purpose? What is he trying to do here? Why do we keep getting attacked by this man?
Ah, who? Ah, the gentleman.
Yes.
He was kind of annoyed you got away. I mean, all those orcs, and then they just turned and walked away because of some dwarf. He wasn't happy about that. Cut ties with the orcs. I wish he hadn't. After seeing you've made new friends, and like he's like looking around, but he doesn't hear, and none of you hear the footsteps of Jangora walking next to the cart. And he's just like, "Yeah, your massive friend must have scared him because he just ran off. He kind of just wanted to get even with you. Finally get a cart."
He disappeared from that fight. He obviously didn't care about you and the other bandits very much. Where does he go? Where does he hide out?
I don't know. We are on the road most of the time when we're trying to rip people off. And unfortunately, you were the first and second people we ran into with him.
So you have no information about him?
Hell,
Or
I don't
anyone?
even know the guy's real name.
Well, then you're of no use to me. I moved to put the gag back on.
No, wait, I can.
Oh,
Removing
what
the
can he
gag.
do?
I removed the gag, and you can what now? What can you do for us?
I can tell you where the orcs went.
Alright, I'm listening.
Having bad memories is here.
They started traveling south after we split ways. Southeast.
Oh,
I
so
believe
you
they were
picked
heading
one of four directions? Thank you so much. You're so useful. Put the gag back on him. He's not useful, and we should not go after the orcs. I don't think.
Do you have anything more specific than southeast?
Do you have a map?
Show him the map. Actually, do I have a map? Yeah. Presume it's one of those unwritten things that I have.
Yeah, we got one from the Adventurers Guild, I think, before we headed off.
So I hold the map in front of them.
By his estimates, this is about where you guys met him on the road, and the arrow is the direction he's saying that the orcs have started going. The
Rough,
orcs
do
are
you-
just walking around. That's helpful. Even the information's probably worth something. Maybe.
It is. And you know what's worth most of all? Silence. I hear it's golden. And back with the gag.
come on.
Do not worry, I do not know this owl man and I am not religious at all. But if I had to guess, I have a feeling he is going to set you free of your corporeal form very soon. Come on, he's a dumb bandit. He doesn't know what corporeal is. He has to think that's a good thing.
He literally, that's the word he mumbles back to you and just raises an eyebrow. He doesn't understand it entirely.
It's a good thing. Don't worry about it. He'll be heavily rewarded.
Give me a deception check.
It's not deception, it's truth.
I think Azir does believe that
I
his
mean-
days are numbered.
Technically, yeah, it is. So, yeah, give that to me then.
Well, I still gave you deception.
He believes you that he will be freed.
He will live the rest of his days in service to a god. It will be grand.
All right. So, you guys are done with your little exchange with him?
We are. I am.
Okay. Anybody else have anything else to do? You're still traveling down the road? Couple
Well,
of
I did-
hours?
I didn't appreciate him calling me some dwarf when clearly I'm very special, but I'm not going to get into it. He's already gagged.
So, yeah, by the way, you guys have that giant barrel of, the,
Ah, that's right. The cask from the
town I keep forgetting the name of. The Solduskoon town.
little town that almost had a dead old woman.
Yeah.
Almost.
So, I think it's both, David. I think it's both.
That's what I'm going with.
All right. So as you travel down the road and the sun starts to set, you can see the city in the distance. It's probably about 3 or 4 miles away. So you know you got another maybe hour-ish to go. And you're traveling and you're getting closer to the city. The sun's still up, but it's low, so it's, the light's not amazing. God, dusk, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, yeah.
Yeah, dusk is the evening.
So you get to probably about half a mile or so from the gate, and you can see this city has a huge wall going around it. Probably about 40, 50 feet tall is the wall. Hard to tell from the distance you're at right now.
Are there archers though? Well, I guess we're just
You can't.
driving right through.
You can't tell. You're way too far away.
I also don't have dark vision.
All right. I have to. Oops. Hang on. I
Wait.
have to make it.
Owl people don't get dark vision?
Apparently not.
That's
I know,
super
right?
weird.
Yeah.
Well, I think the Arakocra race isn't all owls.
Yeah.
True. They're supposed to be like, well, most often is like eagle kind of thing.
Right.
Eagle falcons.
True.
I played a
Okay.
sparrow one once.
That's pretty cool.
Not gonna
Was his
lie,
name
it
Jack?
wasn't.
Just kidding.
No.
I know you hate that character.
Listen,
Dude, the
I just got
sighs
my one.
from everyone were real right there.
Oh, I'm
Mighty
sorry
good
that.
pun.
All right. So you guys are coming up on the south end of the road. Here. You're not on the map yet, obviously, because you're not that close. But as you get closer, the two giant doors that lead into the city begin to close.
Well, that's freaking rude.
Now you're getting probably about 1,000 yards now away from the door. 500 yards away, and you notice now that you're getting closer and closer. More and more guards seem to be running across the top of the wall, and more archers seem to be coming up, and the door is now completely closed. And you can see there's a sizable amount of guards on top.
What's going on out there?
I feel like we may be unwelcome to this city.
You notice there are no other carts around going on either side of the road.
I'm gonna push my way up through our cart to get behind Relentless, who I assume is sitting in the front.
He is.
Now, just so we're clear, the job was to get this merchant to the city, and we've done that, so make sure he pays, whether they let us in or not.
Well, he pays us every single day, but I don't think that'll be an issue at all.
Oh, maybe we should go really slow then.
Relentless just kind of glares at you, you greedy little dwarf.
Sorry, I need materials.
The merchant looks at you, too, and he goes, I don't think they're closing the gate for us. And then he looks up to your friendly frost giant walking next to you, who is also getting kind of the same idea as him as he begins to bring the cart to a slow roll about 200 or so yards away from the gate. And you can see maybe a few guards out in front, all armed.
Should I go pull her away from the doors?
Well, I think you need to do something. They're arming themselves to take down a giant that could be a potential threat.
Jack, I'd like to roll perception to look at how prepared the guards look.
All right,
Or investigation, which one you want.
perception.
Do I think we can take them?
Oh shit.
You know for a fact you cannot siege this wall unless you literally are going to try and convince
Oi!
Dora to help you siege it. There's probably more than 20 archers on top, and there seem to be more people coming. And from your guesstimate, there may even be a ballista or two in the towers on top. And there seem to be more guards coming out from like side doors of the towers and tiny doors. And you see up ahead a few knights on mounted horses, like they're getting ready to come out.
Well, being that I am
You're
a hill-
getting the idea that they think a frost giant's coming back to the town. It's
Yeah.
becoming pretty obvious.
Since I'm a hill dwarf, I know what hills to die on, and this isn't the one, so... If you'll excuse me, I'll shamble out the back and wave down Yarngurn.
She'll
Oh.
kneel down.
You're scaring these people. We need to back it up, nice and slow. Keep your hands where they can see them. That kind of thing. Got it?
She like reaches down and picks you up in the palm of her hand and stands at her full height and goes, "Show them my hands," replying to you in giant. And she just like holds both hands out in front of you like she's trying to hold something on them with the one you're on now. And she's like this.
So her hands are open, and I'm hanging from like her thumb or something. So
No,
is that-
you're in the palm of her hand. Like imagine
Oh,
she's
okay.
like just hold both your arms out, like elbows kind of on your chest, and your hands out flat. That's kind of how she's what she's doing right now.
Yeah, that's good. Now just back it up, nice and easy, very slow, no sudden movements.
And she starts stepping backwards.
Back it up and drop it if
Slowly. And Relentless, the merchant, goes to you and he's like, "So, maybe you can explain the situation or whatnot, but in case things go wrong, I'm a man of my word."
Well, we're at the
And
town, aren't we?
he puts a sack down on it with 198 gold, giving each of you 24. Oops. Why the. Did I do my math wrong? Shh. I think I did my math wrong. Shut up.
Big shock.
There we go. With 28 gold for each of you for the 7 days of travel. The hell? Oh, giving Callie gold. I thought I took her out of the party sheet.
Yeah, I was about to say the number seems a little low. His pockets are a little
All
light.
right. There we go. Now everybody has the 28 gold for your 7 days of travel. And he's like, "I want to get in the city, and you're supposed to protect me until I'm in it, even though I've handed you your money. But hopefully the guards of this town are as kind as I remember them." And he's just like, "Hopefully." And like, and now Hrothgar, you're probably about 20 or so yards behind the cart, and she's still just backing up because she doesn't know what to do. And the rest of you, especially Vincent, you can see that there's 5 knights riding out on horses towards you. Because he has stopped the cart, obviously. In the
Alright, that's far enough. Go ahead and kneel down and stay low. Don't look aggressive.
She kneels down and places her hand that you're on the ground so that you can climb off if you want to.
I climb off and stand in front of her with my arms crossed and my chest puffed out.
All right, she is on one knee, leaning on her raised knee with her arm, but keeping both of her arms like in front of her, with her other one still on the ground next to you.
Okay.
And after a minute or so, well, probably less than that because they're on horses, you see 5 knights come up in full plate armor, riding majestic, very nice horses. And Relentless, you get the idea that these are probably like noble knights, because they each individually have a different crest. One has a griffin on it. Another one has the lead one has the castle symbol with the axe on the side of it. That's on that picture. And then another one has a dragon and a phoenix, and then the last one has a tree on it. And as they ride up, the lead one takes off his helmet as he approaches or opens up his visor. And he's looking kind of past you guys at the obvious frost giant and goes, "So what brings you to this city, and why is that with you?"
Well,
Pointing past you.
It's not polite to point.
nothing.
Cut his finger off his ear.
He gives Azir a very stern look. Like this
Azir
is
looks
no
back. He ain't
joking
fucking
time.
scared.
Now, everyone,
Liquid curd.
just calm down.
I feel like I was too excited when I said that.
We are here to escort this caravan into this town. The Frost Giant is a friend of ours. She's an ally, and she poses no threat to this city.
Give me a persuasion roll.
If my persuasion doesn't work, can I roll strength?
You have to roll persuasion. He raises an eyebrow and he's just like, "You made friends with a frost giant."
The short side of the story is she got pretty intoxicated, and as long as you don't give her a bunch of booze, she'll be able to control her limbs. And he kind of like throws his arms around. Like, she's very wild when she drinks, but we helped her out, and she was very apologetic for her actions that caused that scene. And she's been with us, and she's been in other towns and has caused not a single issue, other than what you're seeing now, which is the initial fear.
He raises an eyebrow, like looking at you, and then he looks at the merchant and he's like, "These are the guards you hired to protect you?" And he's like, "Yes, they are." And then he looks past and he goes, "I think I understand why you hired them."
We're
Well,
the best.
I don't want any trouble in my town. So if she causes any problems, when we're finished dealing with her, we'll deal with you. And then you just hear him, "Ha!" And they hit their reins and they turn around and they go riding back to the gate.
I just want to add that my face, after he threatens me, took everything in me not to rip his head off his shoulders. And it was the meme where the guy's like, "Oh, really?
Yeah. He's not being nice.
You
He's-
in what army?" Oh, that one.
I fought in the army before.
And the
Last time I
merchant looks
checked,
over at
Azir.
you and seeing your scowl on your face, and he's like, "Don't take it as anything personal. He's got to look tough in front of all those high-end nobles. After all, his father runs the city."
Well,
That explains a lot. So I have to ask, since I have a, what is it? It is a feature, mercenary life. Those symbols that they had on their armor, do I know what those mercenary or those companies are?
They're not mercenary companies. They're high-end noble military arms of this city. So they're basically the army of the city. But for the most part, you would kind of recognize, not really, because they're not mercenary companies, because they don't travel around enough to get their, name recognition. But you get the gist that they're the protectors of the city, and each one is probably a different area or maybe does different things to help the city.
Okay.
And the merchant looks over and he goes, "Well, I hope they open the doors for us when we get there, because I'd like to spend the night at an inn."
Well, lead the way, merchant. We have our pay. Do you still need our services inside of the town?
No, you are relieved of your duty, but I would suggest coming in. This is a massive town. I mean, probably more than 150,000 people live here. So you'll find plenty of work if you're looking for any more.
I'd say this is, we were traveling east.
Yeah, this is like in the road, and with it has the major river going through it as well. So you know that
In either case, Relentless, we could use
you
a
would
rest.
either have to walk through this city or walk a very large distance around it. And I put your token on the map, Relentless,
I see it.
to signify the group.
Okay, well, we're gonna work our way through, and we're about due for a rest. So we will try to find the nearest inn. If anyone disagrees, just let me know now.
What do you want me to do with this giant in the meantime?
Well, he didn't
So-
say we couldn't bring it in.
You guys
Okay.
get closer and closer to the town. And the gates are opening back up, and the guards seem to be filing away as you get closer to return to wherever their normal duties are. And when you get close enough, the merchant goes, "Well, thank you. But he's like, I know of an inn I'm heading off to." And he's like, "I believe the guild has a place in this city. So I would suggest trying to find it and stay there tonight. Or, well, there's hundreds of other inns. This city is massive."
How much do you know of this town, merchant?
A lot. Pass through here all the time.
Is there anything, before he storms off, is there anything that you guys need as far as direction-wise for a specific shop or anything that you need? Now'll be the time to ask him.
Do you know of any magic item shops in the town? Anything that would be helpful to people in our line of work that we should check out?
You hear him give like a mighty sigh, and he's like, so many places, so many stores, but depending on the coin you're willing to spend, give me an idea and I can probably suggest a few shops in your range."
Does anybody have anything specific they're looking for at this point? I didn't really have anything in mind. I just figured while we're here.
Merchant, do you know any stores that carry quality blades?
It's like, "Of course." He goes, "Places you'll probably want to suggest go to are," if you look at the map, I made a circle. He goes, "There's a market in this area. Some pretty fine and interesting stuff around there.
Are there any temples or places of worship of note?
Several temples and places of worship to note. Trust."
Where is the religious district?
I can't change the color of each of these. So there's the religious
I got you.
district. And he tells you that to find weapons and armor is probably best by the gladiatorial pit back across the river. And he tells you that the Adventurers Guild is over there where I put that square that's in the form of a diamond. That's kind of in the center of.
Let's seize it. Okay. So, is there anything else anybody else needs before the merchant takes off? Because I don't know if we'll run into him again.
I'm good.
Oh, down
Nope.
here.
Do you need anything for your brew supplies there, Rothgar? They might have a brewery here. It's pretty big. People like to
I'm
get
sure
drunk.
that they do. Yeah. I don't want to talk to them though. Can you ask them for me?
Relentless is
Creeps
just
me
gonna
out.
kind of glare at you like.
He's an elf with horns, for fuck's sake. I don't like it.
He literally hears you say that, and he's like, "I'm not an elf with horns. I'm a tiefling." Ah,
You have to excuse my friend. He's not used to other races, I guess. He's not used to be seeing people of your kind, especially.
He's a racist.
He doesn't like
But in that
elves.
like woodsy backwoods country sort of way.
If it ain't me, it
Exactly.
ain't right.
Where's my sister?
Folksy racism.
Oh man! So I asked the merchant if he's aware of any breweries or distilleries that may be able to offer some assistance with any brew supplies or anything like that in the area.
he kind of looks at you guys up and down, and he goes, "Well, I don't really know of the breweries. I mainly know of where to drink them."
That's a
But-
good start.
I'm sure if you walked across along the river line of the stores there, you'd probably find them. Most of them would probably like to stay near the water. I think they use that when making their ales and whatnot.
Are you perhaps headed there now, merchant?
I'm heading to a very nice inn, which has a nice bar. I'm sure you could get a decent drink there. But I
So-
don't know if they make their drink there.
That's fine. They at least may know their competition and know where to get what we're looking for. So if nobody has anything else, we can kind of walk and talk with the merchant because he's heading to the same place we are.
Or Jack, are you gonna do like downtime style, where? Because it sounds like a lot of people want to split up and go everywhere. Or we just dragging the party to each place.
Yeah, so he leads you up to where the Adventurers Guild is, but goes past it up to. God damn, it's so hard to see these because everything I do is purple from my things. But there, that cone I have that it's on, that's the nice fancy place he's taking you to.
That's like an inn or something.
Yes, it's an inn. It's a little nicer, and I gotta figure out where I put my map for this place. I honestly didn't think you guys were gonna go here, so I didn't save it to my story.
Well, we can go to the shittier place if that's better.
Yeah.
I don't.
Okay, well, you guys go there, and what happens is the merchant is welcomed, and so are his companions. You get a lot of frowns. And a man walks up to you and goes, "You are adventurers. The guild is just down the street." And he's like not trying to be rude to you, but he is giving the formal, we cater to a certain clientele kind of vibe.
Oh boy, we're not about to pass the paper bag test. We might need to leave. We're just here, just passing through. We're not gonna be staying long. Is there anything that you need from us?
You got me to the city nice and safe. I'm going to be spending quite some time here. I don't know how long you'll be around, but if I once I decide my next destination, I might hire you again. I mean, after all, who's gonna fuck with a frost giant?
It's a valid point.
There we go.
And then you guys agree to leave and head to the Adventurers Guild?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just share that real quick with everyone. I just threw all your tokens on the map real quick.
This looks
So,
familiar.
You guys are actually all coming in through. Damn it. Alright. Yeah, so if everyone can move their adjusted tokens south.
Hello.
Hello. Nothing yet. So you guys get to the, you're walking in and you're getting obvious several looks. And when you get close to the door and you're about to go in, Hrothgar, Jorngora, you can hear her reply to you in Giant, and she's like, I can't fit in that door.
Well,
Man,
no,
call your dad.
Oh shit.
Sorry. Sorry.
Mute yourself real quick.
I'm trying to. Hold on.
I got it.
Hrothgar?
well, we could make the door bigger, but I don't think they'd like that, so why don't you mosey on down to the gladiatorial pits, and I'll see if Azir will join us. I think we could make some cash while we're here.
She smiles at that and she goes, you notice it's like officially dark now. The sun has gone down. She's like, but I don't know if they're going to be open this late. You think we should do that when the sun comes up?
Good
And-
point.
She
The gladiatorial pits
she
are
looks-
always open.
up past and into the stable area, and she's just like, if you're going to spend the night in there, I guess I'll just hang around outside and I won't cause any trouble for you, but I'll just wait out here, okay?
Yeah, I think that's fine.
And then she like kind of like nudges the door open to the thing, and it's just tall enough because it goes the whole way up to the top of the 2-story building that she kind of only has to duck a little and walks in, and then you just hear 2 screams from inside, and you see her stop walking, and she's just like, I guess I still have that effect on the small folk. Everybody else, you can proceed forward
Small
if you
folk.
wish.
Is it has it only just gotten dark, or is it late into the night?
It's just gotten dark.
I should take a nap.
All right. So, Hrothgar, the 2 guys in front of you are looking terrified, and they're holding like pitchforks for hay. And they're just like, oh my god.
Well, you look like you want a scrap with a be my guest, but you're gonna get fucked, and I just walk past them.
They look at you in surprise and just like separate the way, and they're just like, what? What's that? And then you hear Drangora point up ahead, and she's just like, I don't like the smell of horses. I usually just eat them. It'll be frowned upon if I eat the ones here, though. So I'll make a bed out of hay and just stay back here, if that's okay.
I'm not paying for, any horse space that you're taking up, but I don't think anyone can object to your presence, so go ahead.
She like walks past you and goes, who's gonna charge me and stop me?
Exactly.
She like walks over, grabs all the hay from that section and proceeds to make a bed over there, and you can follow around, and then you're at the back door, and everybody else, you guys can proceed in. Hrothgar, you can come in through the back door.
Giggity.
Phrasing.
Upon entering, Ocelot goes, "I am quite tired." And he disappears off and gets you guys a room.
I'm going to follow him to the room.
All right. Where are you? What are you doing with the bandit?
I was about to wonder when the sacrifice is happening.
You know what?
Good, good popcorn.
Actually, this
I mean,
is
where is he? You. The cart is now in the back because
Yeah, rather
Hrothgar
than
took the cart and the horses into the back with Jorngora, and they're all tied up back there.
rather than sleep in bed, we're going to go find the cart and take a small nap there. In the back of the cart, right next to my new friend. You sleep a couple of hours and then get to work.
You're gonna take the cart with him tied up in the back of it out.
No, I just want to be close to him. I don't even have to sleep in the cart. We're just going to be there for a few hours, wait until much later at night, and then proceed with our activities.
Okay. So you're back here with the cart.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay. Move Azir and Relentless in as well. And Aelin will be here with you guys. You order drinks and food,
Mhm.
and they're swiftly brought to you. And you all notice the same barmaid from Memnon is serving you.
What?
She's like
And
Nurse
she looks
Jenny,
at you guys all in surprise as well. She's like, "I didn't expect to see every one of you out here."
Well, we like to get
Looks
around.
like somebody got a promotion to a better bar.
I take care of the guild in every way I can, and they needed help out here, and the city's so vast, and several adventurers start their journeys around here.
Well, we're glad to see you either way and know that you are well. Well, we're here for rest and for business. And just like we were in the previous town, we're looking for work, preferably that heads east. Do you know of any?
Ah, I'm sure there's something on the board we can find for you. Are you going to spend the night here? I can have it ready for you in the morning.
That would save us a lot of grief. And yes,
Okay. You are in the town that the Sending Stone told you about, by the way.
we're here.
You whispering into your rock?
Yes.
Okay.
Relentless is gonna pull out his rock and just kind of whisper into it, like, because he doesn't know who's all around, because we're in an inn, which is a very public place. I was not aware that we were in the town. The stone told me
Yeah,
that.
sorry, I should have told you sooner. That's my fault.
No, that's all right. So I'm gonna whisper in the town. I'm here. Now what? And just kind of like rub it a little bit, because I'm not quite sure how to, hit send.
You feel it like shake and kind of like let off a soft light, like it sent your message.
Dope. Notifications are awesome. Okay, so that changes things a bit. So yeah, instead of work that heads east, any work within the town.
She nods and goes, "I'll find something for you."
All right.
And hands you guys all your food. Aelin, seems to quickly eat, and then goes, I'm gonna go to sleep as well. And proceeds to walk away.
Relentless is going to mention to Rothgar a reminder of the events that led up to us being in this town. And since he's pretty much with me, I'm going to tell him to keep an eye peeled for someone that looks similar to him. Because you would say that the Kali's master looks a lot like a dwarf, right? He is a dwarf?
Yeah, he is a dwarf. You know he's a dwarf.
Yeah. Well, he punched me in the back of the head. I would hope I know what he looks like.
You know what he looks like because he's trained you before.
Do we know what kind of dwarf?
You lived in the monastery that he was a master in, with several others, and so I mean it was like one giant family. So you know him quite a bit.
So I explained the brief description of what he looks like, because I doubt there's too many dwarves just kind of rolling around here. So I explained that to Rothgar and just tell him to keep an eye peeled for anything like that. And kind of glares over at Vincent like, no pun intended.
Well, if we're talking peeled eyes,
I
maybe
just
I can
kinda
get Detective You on the case.
Did someone say yes?
Smells tasty.
I wasn't expecting to get to work so soon after arriving. As did I was really hoping we could hit up that gladiatorial pit. I mean, I'm a fucking frost giant, for Christ's sake. How could we lose?
I would like to hit up the gladiatorial pit as well. It's been many years since I've partaken in such things.
You used to fight in the pits?
Years ago.
Everyone at
Whereabouts?
the table, give me a perception check.
Oh god, this is it. This is it.
Are we about to see a dwarf? Vincent?
Look how you're every time it's like, where's our Vincent?
I either roll really high or really low. There is no middle ground.
He's got the
To be
raven
fair,
on his
with a
shoulder.
+8, even if you roll low, it's
All
still
right,
middle
continue
ground.
your conversation.
I feel like he's got a stool pigeon on his shoulder. Ah, nevermore. Ah, there's a dwarf.
Whereabouts did you fight? Maybe I've heard of it.
I fought in the north of here, where I am from. I may have fought in this gladiatorial ring as well. I traveled quite a bit to fight.
I can see how you could get confused. Most of these bars seem to look the same.
Well, you see, what you have to do is give me a moment, because I am buying time to look at the map and try to remember exactly where we talked about last week where I am from.
Okay.
And I closed the map, and I can't find it now.
It's the Faerun map. And our talk was that you were probably from Prosker.
Around Prosker.
Can I roll history to see if I've ever heard of that place?
You can. In your mild travels heading down south, you believe you heard rumors that there was a coup there probably around 20 or so years ago. You don't really know too much about it besides that. An attempted coup.
Is that the place where there was a failed coup? Or some such?
Aye.
Were you there when that happened?
You could say I was there, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, this is not the... I am going to go to bed. We'll talk about this later.
Well, get your rest, because I want to win tomorrow.
I crawl under this table.
The moment you start crawling under it, the barmaid is standing over it. She's like, Azir, I believe we had this conversation in Memnon.
No,
No.
but before that, you
No.
let me sleep under
He's
the
like,
table.
no, don't do all of your word talk like you did last time. There's a comfy room upstairs that your cat friend has already gotten for you.
Do you want to see a magic trick?
Yes, she does.
Alright. Now, if you watch very carefully, you will see something absolutely miraculous. As I disappear
Are you still
from
under
your
the table?
No, I'm standing right at the table.
Okay.
As I disappear from your sight. And I try to throw down some like little smoke thingies, and I dive under the table to go to sleep.
What little smoke thingies?
You
You
got
open
that-
up your decanter? Of,
Yeah.
all right, you open it up, and smoke starts filling the area around you.
Oh, should I roll a hide as well or a stealth?
Yeah, give me a stealth.
Oh no!
You slam right into the chair in front of you because you can't even see what you're doing, and then try to
My stealth's
crawl
too good, guys.
under the table. And then you hear some walking around, and you hear this, ah! As the chair next to you gets knocked over, and you hear somebody fall to the ground next to you, and she's like, God damn it, it's here!
Okay, I go to my room now.
You,
Does it look like the bar is on fire with all that smoke coming up?
No, it really doesn't give too much of a description of it, besides that it's smoky.
Okay.
But most of the people in the bar are adventurers, and they just look over and they're just like, what the hell is going on? And just ignore it.
As he walks off, very sad that he didn't get to sleep under his favorite table.
As you like walk over, you hear more stumbling around, and you hear a chair. You see a chair come flopping out of this, and she's like, Azir, where'd you go? Oh, my leg.
I just go up to my room. I'm very sad that it didn't go well.
Well, after that display, Hrothgar's gonna look to Relentless and Vincent like,
You guys want to sign up too? I could use all the help I could get, apparently.
I'll sign up. It makes for some easy coin. Especially with these thoughts and prayers. And he just kind of admires the knuckles that he only got to use twice.
Yes, those were most remarkable the other evening.
So as you guys are sitting there, all of a sudden you guys look over at Azir's empty chair, and it's filled. And Zeke is standing there, standing on the chair, because he's only 2 feet tall, and looks at you and goes, I want in.
Ah! The fuck is that?
Relentless just gonna kind of sigh. What do you want from it?
I've seen you guys going around. You worked for Raven. You're real tough. You'll win in there. I'll make a lot of nice bets. You guys win a bunch, and then let's say you lose when you get your odds really high. We can make a lot of gold.
Relentless thinks back to when he stole from us and thinks how cunning he is, and it could work out. So it's actually not a bad plan to make some coin, especially when we're pretty much guaranteed a victory.
And if you're into that whole honor thing, then we can keep going until you think you're going to lose.
Relentless is gonna fiddle with the yarn ball that he has and contemplate the deal. And as sneaky as Zeke is, he does have a point, and we could change the odds. So yeah. So what is your cut from this, Zeke?
Well, how much gold are you going to be putting in? I'll be putting in 100 of my own.
Relentless looks around the table at the others.
I could match that.
As could I.
He
Vincent,
looks
are
over
you
at
in?
Vincent.
Are you going book shopping?
David.
I'm sorry, what?
I was just
There-
asking, is your character intending in the morning to join us in the gladiatorial pits, or are you going magic item shopping or whatever?
Oh no, I'm definitely in on this gladiator thing.
Are you willing to put up 100 gold?
Yeah.
All right, it's settled then.
It's 400 gold
He-
in the pot.
He smiles and he goes, "Excellent. We'll split it evenly among ourselves. 1/4 for all." And you see him pull out a tiny piece of paper, and he starts writing on it in Draconic. And then he spins it around, pulls out a knife, spins it in his fingers, and like pokes the end of his finger, and like slabs it on the paper and hands you guys a knife. And he's like, "Make the deal official."
He said 1/4 each, but isn't Azir also joining that 5?
Azir isn't here to talk about the money, and he's not throwing in any money.
Okay.
Just this is out of character for a second. This whole blood thing, I'm not pacting anything, right? I mean, like as a warlock, I feel like I would know if I was entering a pact through experience.
You, as a warlock, know that this is more of like a blood agreement. Like he's taking this very seriously to make, like, no, if you stab him in the back on this deal, you're gonna find a real knife in your back. Is
Okay,
the
but
gist
it's
of it.
folksy, not magical.
Yeah, it's folksy, not magical.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll use my own knife and go ahead and sign that.
He smiles and he's looking over at Hrothgar and Relentless.
Relentless takes the tip of
Does
his...
anybody at this table, by the way, read Draconic?
I
Nope.
don't.
I do.
You see on it, Vincent, when you go to sign it, that it is quite literally exactly what he said. It has all of your names on there. It mentions that everyone's throwing in an equal part of 400 gold coins, and that the winnings of this will be split in a 4-way split, 1/4 for each person, no matter the wins or losses.
All right, looks good. I'm gonna let them know that what that says in Draconic.
We appreciate that, Vincent. Thank you for letting us know. So, Hrothgar, are you going to inform our giant friend of the winning situation?
What she doesn't know doesn't hurt. She already agreed to fight. Besides, we pay for her room and board, that's enough.
Relentless looks like, yeah, you know, you're right. Just kind of nods. So what
I
next, Zeke?
You guys do the blood stamp as well?
Yeah, I take the tip of my thoughts and prayers and just kind of glide it across the backside of my forearm.
As you do that, you feel like a little bit of like shake in your mind and a little bit of like light radiant damage hit you. Doesn't hurt you, but you feel the effects of like your own blade.
That's a good burn. And then he just takes the from the small little prick that he did, and he just kind of like takes it's pretty much matted in the fur. It's not gonna be dripping onto the thing. And he just kind of does like a little like dab with his forearm in that spot. So it looks a lot bigger than it is because of how big Relentless is.
Yeah, it does.
3 normal dabs and then 1 giant cat print.
Pretty much.
In Hrothgar, you have blood signed as well.
Well, Hrothgar looks at all these prickling type weapons and then looks at Molly, which is a blunt weapon. But he does have a hand axe on his belt, so he pulls that up and licks the blade until it cuts into his tongue, and then he hawks a spit of blood onto the paper.
That's Badass.
The second your blood comes on it, everyone's blood comes on it. Zeke blows on it with seems like kind of fire a bit, heat out of his mouth, and all the blood dries quickly, and he rolls up the scroll and ties it up and throws it in his thing. And he's like, "See you in the morning at the arena." And he goes disappearing back under some tables, skittering away.
Well, that was weird.
That little guy usually is, but this seems like it's going to benefit us.
Guess we'd better head to bed so we're nice and fresh as daisies, as they say.
All right, you guys are all heading to bed.
I'm just gonna check on our giantess friend before I head up there.
As you come out back, you see you poking probably a bandit. It is getting quite a bit late, you. Probably around 9 or 10 o'clock at night.
And is the giant asleep or?
No, she's just sitting there. She seems to be fumbling with one of the bags she has.
What you doing, you?
You there, Chris? Guess not.
What's up?
I came upon you at night with your bandit friend. What are you doing?
It's
My
about
apologies.
9, 10 o'clock. It's getting pretty dark out.
I had it connected to my computer and it was super choppy, so I went to grab my phone. My apologies. Well, it's about time to wake up. We're going to prepare this. You said you're here now, Frothgar?
Yeah. Just checking on the giant, and I saw you over here, so I figured I'd say hey.
Are you interested in seeing a ritual tonight?
He strokes his long braided beard.
I reckon a little learning wouldn't do me any harm. I'll probably get it knocked out of my head tomorrow during the fight.
He's gone.
This thing must have gotten messed up. All right, don't worry.
I'll play you as well. Yes, I am going to go, and I am Azir now. I am going to go and kill this bandit. It will be lovely. Do you have any eyes?
Dose.
So, we're not going to kill him here with the carts, though. Is there a back exit to this place, or do I have to go back out the front door down there?
You gotta go out the front door. But your cart is enclosed, so nobody can see inside of it.
That doesn't do me any good to just kill him here, though. No one will find him.
Forgive me, but normally when you do murder, do you not want to hide it?
This is not just a murder, it's for the glory of Baal.
It is indeed. We are to spread his name, and what better than walking upon his work?
Well, I have to admit I am curious. I mean, when I kill someone, I just leave them where they lie usually, but your god is interesting.
So, I'm going to wake him up from the cart and have him exit the cart, grabbing him by his arms as they're tied behind him. I believe I have his feet tied too. He needs to walk, so
All right,
We're
you're
going to,
walking him out of the stables.
that's it.
All right.
Hands bound, mouth gagged.
All right. You guys get to the front of the stables, and well, you have the city map. So, are
We
you just walking down the center of the streets?
no, we're going to find a back alley, maybe a block or two away.
Okay.
Close, but not like right outside the door.
And you're not trying to be seen.
Not overly interested in with it.
Well, give me a circle on the map.
All right.
Where
So
you
you said
believe-
we're by the cone, right?
Yeah. No, you're at the diamond.
Diamond. My apologies. Let's go north of there to bloody hell. I think this is an alley, and if not, oh, damn pointer. If that's not an alley, then the closest alley to that location.
Yeah, that's an alley.
Fantastic. It's super blurry when you try to zoom in.
I know. Find
Enhanced.
yourself behind a couple of shops.
Ooh,
back
frequented
alley.
places. So now I'm going to take my mace.
Both
To
of
his
you give me
legs.
stealth checks. You're not trying to be seen, right? When you walk there.
Yeah.
I am the knight.
You.
Not bad.
All right. You seem to get there undetected.
So while he's still gagged, we're going to make sure he doesn't run. I would like to take my knife to his Achilles tendons.
Okay. You
Oh,
got
boy.
it. You hear this.
But by the way, should you want any roles for any of this description, please let me know.
I will, but there's nothing needed yet.
Guys, I have a real quick question before we continue.
Yes.
Is it normal for somebody to listen to something like this while a person is sitting here drinking blood red wine with a massive erection?
It's
Absolutely.
only normal if you
That
touch
just
it.
seems normal to me.
Okay, please proceed. I'm ready. I have the lotion and the tissues.
Right.
So
jeez.
you remember those spoons I took from the table of the temple, the air temple?
Yeah.
The
I'd
silver
like to
one.
use. Yeah.
Jack
the
sounded
sil-
Jack sounded so defeated when he said yeah.
Didn't mean to. I was just saying, yeah.
So I'm going to take one of those out of my pack, and I'm going to take his right eye.
All right. He is muffling and now is trying to struggle against you with his hands tied up and is trying to break free. Realizing that this is getting far worse than he thought it would.
My left claw, claw, why not? Reaches around his head, like over his forehead, the thumb and pinky squeezing into his temples. Not trying to kill him, just inflict a little pain as I drive the spoon into his right eye to remove it.
I mean, you do.
Oh, fantastic. I'm going to eat that in front of him.
Okay.
Thanks, Hrothgar. This done, we're going to remove the knife I have in my bag, bringing it to his stomach to disembowel him.
All right. You begin disemboweling him. He is now struggling very hard. Give me a athletics check.
Oh man, I always fail this one.
20.
Right?
Let me know if you need a
Oh my
hand.
god.
As he rolls a 1.
The best around.
He breaks out of your grasp. Barely. Because he matched you.
Are
Wow.
you serious?
He rolled a 1 with a +1 for also a 2. He
Good.
was
I
bound
mean-
and gagged, so I had him roll at disadvantage. So enjoy
I
that.
didn't want to get involved, but it looks like I need to. Should I roll athletics to step on his chest and hold him down?
If you're gonna try and stop him from struggling and escaping, give me an athletics.
I mean, his
I'm gonna
Achilles
do it.
tendons
I'm doing
are
it for
cut, dude.
friendship and out of curiosity.
Yeah,
But
he
I'm
starts.
implicit in this record. Or complicit.
He starts trying to get away, and Hrothgar, tell me how you stop him. He's like, arms still tied behind his back, mouth gagged, can't really use his feet anymore. It's just like Neil sliding his way away after he's pushed you off of him. How do you stop him?
I step over, and Molly comes off my shoulder, and I turn it upside down Thor style and just set it on his chest.
You stop him in place. He's on his back, looking up, terrified now. He's looking at Hrothgar.
All this squirming around. Do you want me to just finish it one bolt with Molly? It'd be done.
We're not done here yet.
Alright, show me what you got to do.
So I'll continue my process of disemboweling, slowly removing his intestines, bringing them outside of his body. Careful of my talons not to perforate any of them. Once that is complete,
He is going
will be-
into shock.
Oh. Perfect. That's fine. He can die here now. Once the intestines are removed, I will begin dipping my finger, talon, into his open cavity to draw blood and use that on his right side on the ground. No. Yes, on the ground. The symbol of Baal.
All right, he's officially dead.
Symbol complete. Same finger, draw in more blood, and on my opposite palm.
So you're drawing the symbol of Baal on yourself or around
Negative.
him?
Symbol is on the ground near him. I am smearing blood on my hand.
All right, how big have you made this symbol?
The symbol is, let's see, about a quarter of his size, would probably be a good, I want it to be visible. About 1.5 feet, 2 feet in diameter.
All right.
It's one big circle. The blood on my hand, does it remain or disappear?
I can't remember which one is which for Baal. It's disappear if he accepts it, right?
Correct. If the ritual was fitting, it will disappear.
Yeah, it disappears.
Thank you for your help, Hrothgar. We're done here tonight.
Oh, if you say.
Then I'll walk back to the inn with you. Like we're friends, but I wonder. I will be stopping at the bar to get a nightcap. I've seen some things.
Is that nightcap measured in gallons?
I don't care to measure it. I just need it inside me. Should I roll a wisdom save over the night to see if I'm disturbed before tomorrow's battle, Jack?
Yes.
I've seen a lot of brutal things in my day, but to stretch it out like that, I don't know.
Look,
You're
elegant or brutal
more
murders.
concerned about how it was ritualistic, because to you it's, you didn't kill him in combat.
Yeah, it wasn't very efficient.
Yeah, to you it was like a more of a, why don't we just drop him on the street? What's the point of this?
Mm-hmm. Okay. I will contemplate these things as I drift off.
So before you guys return to the room, Azir, when you get there, Ocelot's there asleep. But Aelin is nowhere to be found.
I don't think about it.
All right, and as the rest of you return to the room, who's going up there? Relentless, Vincent, Hrothgar, and you. Are you all going to sleep in the bed?
Yeah.
Beds.
Yes, it
Yeah.
beds. We're not all gonna
Go
be able
find
to
a nice
fit.
place to sleep
Yeah.
so I can rest up for that gladiator match tomorrow.
When you guys get up there, you also notice Aelin is gone.
Ooh. Has anyone seen the elf?
Not I.
I've not seen her since we got back. Since we got to the inn.
You're crafty on that one. She'll turn up eventually.
Always does.
Just go to sleep.
All right. Morning comes around. And you're all awake down in the bar, breakfast being served, eating. Azir, I moved you back down there.
Wonderful.
All right. What are you guys doing? Getting ready to go?
Yeah, I'm talking to. I'll walk over to this table. Talking to them excitedly about our time or what we're gonna do, like what the plan is for the gladiatorial ring, what events they want to do, things like that.
Hrothgar's just chewing his bacon. He doesn't look deeply concerned about anything. He seems lost in thought. Like every time he chews, he's just thinking about that eyeball he ate the other day. So he has like a sour look on his face.
Well, what normally goes on in the pits, Azir? You're the expert. How will it happen?
I have to ask Jack. I have to ask the DM what kind of things in this.
You're not particularly familiar with this, the way the arena is set up here.
Okay.
Hey, Aelin. But you, in yours, there was usually the arena was large enough that they could actually separate it into sections, and depending on the day, depended on the event. It could be groups of people versus beasts, groups of people versus groups of people, multiple one-on-one combats, battle royales. It was all, it could be anything, absolutely crazy, but you specialized in one-on-one combat. So
I tell all of.
you
I tell this
assume
to
that
all.
they'll probably have a couple of options depending on the day.
Yep, I let them know about that, and I highly suggest doing like a team game that has an individual component to it so that we don't interrupt each other because we're a fairly new party.
So is that a note to the team name?
Yeah, you guys want to do it as a team?
Sounds good to me.
I'd rather do it as a team, but I'm just saying there are generally some type of team events that have that also rely on individual skill as well, which I think is where our party would shine.
Well, if that's part of the event and that's what Azir deems would be a good fit for our group, then that's what we'll do.
Yeah, he's the gladiator in the group, so I'm just gonna kind of defer to him on that one.
Yes, I mean, it really depends. There's one person here that I do not know. I mean, we should fight as a unit if you is coming. Or sorry, if you comes with us, we should fight as a unit because then we have a dedicated healer. But if you is not coming with us, then we should go after more like beasts or something where we have to tackle them individually because then we are not going to be outmaneuvered by a group that does have a healer. If that makes sense.
So, am I to understand you aim to go to the gladiator pits? I wasn't here last night. Hello?
You guys gonna respond to you?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
We discussed going to the gladiator pits amongst all of us. Would you be interested in going with us? We're just trying to earn some quick coin, and we all wagered 100 gold for us to win, but depending on your attendance or not could affect what type of match we do in the gladiator ring.
I will join you. You may have my coin.
Relentless is going to call out to Zeke, because he's usually within earshot, almost always, because he's such a sneaky little scamp.
Nobody shows up.
Just hold on to that for now, you.
I will then.
And at this point, he kind of, Relentless is going to look over at his ear and just say, well, we have used attendance, so what's the next step for registering for this event?
Well, we need to go to the registrar at in the back of the Colosseum. And need to see which events are available for the day, and we will pick from there.
Relentless finishes up his breakfast, kind of like shoving all of his food into his face, kind of like the Beast in Beauty and the Beast, and has a mouthful of not quite chewed breakfast, and he's ready to go.
All right.
Everybody, you gather together, and you gonna head to the arena. You gonna make sure you bring a certain someone with you.
Rothgar,
Oh shit, he's semi-AFK.
yeah, he is.
Alright.
Rothgar is I'm gonna instruct Rothgar to go get our giant and bring her along.
Yep, I'll do that.
Hmm.
Alright.
I hope they have big enough facilities for the giant.
Maybe we'll just win by default because there's nothing that can stop her.
So, Relentless, you, Vincent, Azir, you head out ahead of Hrothgar and down the street towards the arena. And Hrothgar, you go back to get Jorngora. And upon getting to the arena, you four, we're going to pretend the bar area is like the sign up area because I don't have one for that. Zeke is sitting inside at a table before you guys sign up. He seems to be sitting there, like tapping his fingers across the table, eating some bread.
Relentless is going to walk up to Zeke. We may have a new proposal for our bets.
He raises an eyebrow and he's like, new proposal? But we already signed in blood.
We did, but this may benefit you as much as it would benefit us. We have another contender that two contenders that wish to join, and I wanted to confer with you to see if it would be possible to add them to potentially increase the amount of money that we would win.
And he goes, okay, bring them forth.
I step forward.
100 gold and your name.
I am you. And here's my gold.
He reopens his paper and begins writing on it more in Draconic. And fills it back out, and then he goes, "Your blood signature," and turns it towards you. And he holds up a knife.
Do birds bleed from their talons? Or hands,
No.
etc.?
You can't bleed from your talons, but you can bleed from your hands because they are flesh.
Fair. I take my own knife and slice my palm, pressing it to the paper.
He's like, "Good, good. And another one?"
And Relentless is gonna point to his ear and just kind of say, "Hey, come over here."
Come over.
And relays the message from that he just said to Zeke about the contract to his ear.
He looks at you, Azir, and he goes, "Your name, your money, your blood."
I will tell you that I will not throw a match.
Then I hope you guys all keep winning.
I would bet on myself. And I am Azir.
Excellent, excellent.
I hand him 100 gold.
All right. He holds up the knife for you to sign.
I sign.
All right. You take his dagger, poke your hand, and give a little thumbprint on it, and then pull it away. He retrieves his knife. He counts up all the gold, and he goes, "Okay, so that's a total of 6 of us who are in on this. Excellent, excellent. I will make sure that I bid on you accordingly. I don't want to get too much suspicion. After all, gladiators aren't allowed to bet on themselves or others the day they fight in the ring. So make sure you win and don't get too crazy out there." And he gets up and he walks away from you guys, heading over to what seems to be like a betting area with there's a giant board and it has names on it of all kinds of stuff. And Vincent, when you looked at him rewrite it on Dracanic, he just re-added you and Azir's name on it and re-equated the whole splitting it evenly. Instead of 1/4 for each person, it's now 1/6 for each person.
Okay, cool. So everything's still on the up and up.
Yeah.
I think the next step is to register and see what's available for us. Azir,
Yes.
lead the way.
And we look around to find the counter.
Pretend it's the bar.
Look around and find the bar.
So when you
counter.
you approach it, and there's a man sitting behind it. Pretty tough looking guy. He's missing one of his arms. And he's just like, "So you're here to sign up and fight in the pits today?"
Yes, we are. What events do you have going on for teams?
For teams, we've got team matches where you fight other adventurers or knights or guards around the city trying to prove their merit, prove they're tough. We've also got a couple of special beasts that we've been wrangling up for you to fight in the pit. The group fight is you'll have to fight 4 different groups, and the team that wins the most, keeping their numbers up, will win the gold at the end. And then the beast is you got to fight 3 or 4 different beasts.
Okay. And what are the grand prize for each? Because we are not here to lose.
The grand prize is the same for each.
Then what is it?
2,000 gold for completing the matches and winning them all. 100 gold for each match you win and complete. So that'll be a total of 2,400 if you can win it all. Plus, depending on the odds that are bet on you and how you win, you can earn a little from the betting. Not much. We try to keep you guys out of that. And you know you're not allowed to bet on yourselves. We find out, we ain't gonna let you back in the pit.
That is understandable, young man. And then let us
So
see.
how many do you got? And which event are you guys thinking of?
Well,
We still
have
got
a
about an
total-
hour or so before we finalize everything and lock off the signups for the day.
All right, my kitty
You?
cat friend. All
I'm
right,
sorry.
my kitty cat friend. Would you rather fight a beast or fight men?
Um. Hmm. Is
Oh
the
yes, but sorry, 1 second. Register. One last question.
Yes?
I mean, I can readily assume that with the beasts, it is to the death. Beasts do not tend to give mercy. But what about with the men?
We don't want you killing each other, so try not to. No
Okay.
killing. We understand accidents happen, and we have healers on the side. But any purposeful murder, we take that as real murder in the city. You'll see yourself possibly thrown in jail if you try and execute one of your arena mates.
Oh,
As for the beasts, if you kill them, you kill them. If you knock them out and we can use them again later, that's just as helpful.
do we get a bonus for not killing the beasts?
No.
Oh, well, then there's
We
barely
don't
any
want you to
bonus.
risk trying to keep them alive and succumbing to serious injury. After all, those are a bit harder to control.
So, Relentless, what do you think?
Relentless glares over at you, and then I know Rothgar's not with us right now, but he has a brief moment of just kind of putting the pieces together. Like, you probably can't control himself from murdering something. And Rothgar, if he goes berserk, he may just flat out kill someone. So I'd say we go with the beasts.
All right.
This is a
Cutting
wise
over
decision.
to, I'm going to stop there for a second. Cutting over to Hrothgar. You've gotten Jorn Gora, and you're going to explain the situation to her more? Or are you not back yet?
Yeah. So what is the situation you want me to tell her? Because we're not paying
That
her.
you're going to the gladiatorial pit to fight.
Yeah.
And you've informed her of that. And you guys have just gotten to the outside of the pit. You obviously have a ton of fucking looks. And there are large doors on the side and whatnot where she can clearly enter, and you see the main entrance. And she's standing there and she's like, so, I guess you're gonna meet up with the others and then tell me what to do.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right. And so after you say that, as you guys are having this discussion of deciding, and Relentless, you go, Beast is probably a good idea. Hrothgar comes walking up.
Hey guys! Morning.
Morning, Rothgar. We were just settling the deciding on how we want to proceed in the Gladiator, and I have seen you in battle, and apparently it's a big faux pas to kill any of the fellow Gladiator mates. And I know you and you, the bird, have a hard time keeping things alive when they come into contact when it's a fight. So I've decided to go up against beasts, because there seems to be no detriment to that. But if we are in charge of not taking a life, and we do take a life inside that arena, we will be charged just like we would if we were taking a life in the street. But it does not apply to beasts.
Very well. Is anyone going to be fighting people? Azir, you got a single duel or anything?
Not at this moment. I think I'm going to fight as a group.
Okay, sounds good. When does the killing begin?
In about 1 hour, we will be able to enter the ring.
I recommend we do calisthenics. Limber up.
Cue the 80s.
Host
All
connection
Alright,
loss.
so Azir, you're signing everyone up for the beasts, right?
Yes.
Oh, crap.
Well,
While he's doing calisthenics, I light a cigarette and have a seat.
Well, I have this odd feeling everybody's gonna get 10 minutes in a minute.
Host connection lost.
ba-na-na-na-na.
Da-na-na-na.
Relentless, you know I'm not some animal. I do have control over these things.
I agree. And although you do have control over these things, if something does go down, the urge to sacrifice to Ball is pretty great.
Hmm. He has blessed us numerous times so far. It is
Okay.
right to give thanks.
Case in point.
Yeah, it does have a point, Theo.
I think he's in a refractory period at the moment.
All I'm saying, Relentless, is your killing skill comes from somewhere.
I doubt it comes from
And
Ball.
there
It comes
she
from years of
goes.
training.
All right. Well, I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna take this downtime with our DM being gone to introduce the fact that we have a sponsor this week.
Oh,
And that sponsor is Almaden. Yep, Almaden boxed wine.
I feel like this sponsorship might be unofficial.
This session unofficially brought to you by alcohol. Yay, alcohol.
Yeah, kind of. That's pretty much how it goes down.
So, Azir, do you have a preferred boxed wine or just wine?
No, I love
Cheapest.
all wine. Right now, for this podcast, I drink like the absolute cheapest shit because I'm doing it all night long, and it's funnier that way.
Fair point.
In all actuality, I love wine in all of its forms, and I try all the different regions and styles of wine that I can get my hands on.
I feel that there should be more preparation for our next meeting on the 9th of September, where we pick a boxed wine, go play fetch, and then we have that be our drink of the night.
That would be wonderful. The problem
Right?
is that unless you are a crazy alcoholic, most boxed wine is more of than a drink of the night. It's just like spend $10, here's 8 liters of wine.
Why are you saying this like it's some kind of bad thing?
Because I don't want to kill my friends.
I mean, I'll just, say a little prayer. It'll be fine.
Am
To
I back?
Paul?
Sacrifice your
I
liver to Ball.
mean- Hey, after you guys die, you mind if I have the eyeballs? You're going to use them or anything afterwards. How many of you are organ donors on that point?
You couldn't carry my organs.
Can you
I
guys
just
hear
need
me?
eyeballs. Yes.
Yeah, we hear you.
Alright. Can you reconnect, or do I have to restart Fantasy Grounds again?
I'm trying right now.
Find out.
I might have to restart it because I didn't.
Yeah, it's looking like it's struggling.
Alright, try now, I believe. I opened it, and I closed it and reopened.
Mm, doesn't seem to be working for me. Does it been work for anybody else?
Nope.
Alright, I'm gonna close Fantasy Grounds completely. Oh, I know what's happening. My Steam hasn't reconnected yet. That's why. There we go. It didn't auto reconnect. It was just like, oh, you want us to do this again? Alright, it should be up in about a second.
So just so I'm clear, we are fighting like a group of beasts as a team.
Yep.
Okay.
Not quite sure what those beasts are. Those details have not been known to us, but it's pretty much going to be us against some beasties. Because when you go in rage mode, you Relentless determined that Rothgar might not have control over his urges to completely smash. So
That's a good call.
to not involve the authorities from you accidentally dropping Molly on someone, you know, popping Molly, I'm sweating.
I love to drop Molly. I like to party. Okay.
Alright, I'm just making some quick adjustments, taking some people out of the contractor, Aelin, Ocelot, because they're not here.
Okay, let me see if I can connect to it.
Bandit, I forgot you murdered the shit out
I'm
of.
just creeping.
Creepy.
I'm never free of this elf.
What's up? How you doing?
Sorry guys, I thought I could at least like hang out, but I'm sick too, so I'm just dead.
But is everyone reconnecting?
I'm gonna close out Fantasy Grounds and reopen it. It doesn't seem to be working for me.
Try.
Looks like it's
Might just
connecting now.
load it in.
Mine connected, it's just being real dumb, like usual.
Hey, look at that. Looks like it's loading now.
I'm gonna have to try again. Still not going.
Yeah, I had to reboot
Did you
Fantasy
close
Grounds.
your Fantasy Grounds the whole way and reopen it?
Yeah, I'm trying that now. So we'll see.
Where are my emotes? Dashboard.
There I go.
Let me know when everyone's nice and in. Since you reconnect your stream, I assume.
Yeah, we're still on. I just have
Okay.
us on Be Right Back commercial, so whenever everybody's in, we are.
You can slide it back to normal now, since I
Aight.
know Justin's connecting.
Is that commercial like a little picture of a robot with some wires sticking out?
No, it's just says Be Right Back and it has the chat. But I could make it a robot with just wires sticking out.
That would be awesome. Like one of those cheesy TV "we just had a problem" screens you see.
I'll see if I can get permission to use the theme from Zach Galifianakis between two ferns.
That would be incredible.
Experiencing technical difficulties. I take it we're not on a map, yes?
Make it
You are not
just
on a map.
Photoshop Yarngurn and put it like between two yarns. Just two of her.
That's great. That's good stuff.
All right, Azir. So you're looking at the clerk, and he's looking at you, and he goes, "So, what have you made your decision on? I see another friend seems to have joined you."
And we will fight the beasts.
All right, you're gonna fight some beasts. Names, and how many are in your group?
We give them the names and the numbers.
Tell me the names.
I need a name.
I am Azir, and this is Hrothgar. And
Oh.
this is Relentless, like the word, but it's a name, so capitalize it, please. And Vincent. And you, but not like you, but why you is a name.
And then we have a frost giant, right?
And then we have the Frost Giant, whose name is Frost Giant.
He looks at you
the
after writing them down. You can see his piece of paper. He's writing down Frost Giant, and he has only the word Frost down. He looks up at you and he goes, "I'm sorry. You have a Frost Giant named Frost Giant with you.
I'm gonna
That's a good one."
Yarngura.
And he crosses out Frost, and he writes Yarngora on there, and he's just like, then he writes next to it Frost Giant, and like little marks. He's like, "Ha ha." Like, all right, so there's 6 of you in total. All right. As these matches go on, there'll be less time to recover in between them. So try not to get hurt too much out there. And stay safe, my friends.
Let's go. You assume he guides us to the pit, or?
Yeah, he leads you over to a door, and he goes, "This guy over there will call you when it's your turn and you're ready to go in."
Oh, is there already a fight going on? Can we watch?
You can hear a fight going on, but from where you are, you're in more like the gladiatorial waiting area.
Okay.
There isn't anything by you, and when you ask him if you can watch, he thumbs over and he goes, "There's a stairs over there that lead up to some gladiatorial viewing seats."
Oh yeah.
You guys aren't actually on it right now. You're standing off to the side.
Is that Doug down there? Doug's dead.
Another day, another dog.
I like these little pillars here, though.
You want to perch upon them, don't you?
How'd you know? How do you know?
Would it
I
be
make
okay if we
generalizations
talked
about
battle strat while we're looking at the arena that we'll be fighting in?
Yeah, so you're looking out into the arena, and there's 6 humanoid people. Hard to tell, they're all in cloth and armor running about. versus another 6 humanoid people. It seems to be like the the people team versus team is currently going on. And they're going at it pretty crazily. And as you guys scan the arena, you see in like the credit section this little red kobold leaning over the edge of it, screaming, shaking his fist at the entertainment going on.
But did we forget to say Zeke was in our group?
He's not battling with us.
Oh, okay.
He can't bet if he battles.
Gotcha.
He's our inside scamp.
Yeah, so you have a few moments to talk strategy. You know you'll be fighting beasts.
Well, everybody, listen up for just a second if you could have your ears. As I am a veteran mercenary, I will tell you, the best strategy is to win. So if you do that, then we're good.
He
Relentless.
was just like staring at him intently, like legitimately listening.
He's got his chin lifted up and stroking his beard and just nodding to himself like, yeah, that was a good speech. They get it.
Relentless.
Clearly he
has
was
his-
not a commander.
He has his arms crossed, like listening to you, like, yeah, that's good, that's good. Until you get to the part where we just win, and he just kind of looks at you like, wait, what? Well, as Rothgar put it, yes, winning is very important, but we need to develop a strategy. What is our team composed of? I mean, we have a frost giant. I see some pillars here. Vincent doesn't seem like the front lines type.
You would be correct.
So, would it be possible to put you in a safe place so you can launch your Eldritch Blast from a safe distance?
On top of the frost giant, you're a genius.
I am 100% okay with this.
I tell her in giant what the plan is.
She's not there.
Oh.
You guys are in like she couldn't fit.
She couldn't fit in the watching area.
Matter of fact, you guys don't know where she is at the moment. You left her
She's on the
outside.
side of the beast.
She has been enslaved, and she will be what we're fighting.
Oh, the
Final
irony.
boss.
Yeah.
It's gonna be just like Thor Ragnarok. I know her from work.
I know that guy.
All right. Do you guys believe you have your strategy down?
I do have a question.
Yes, Relentless.
I know your strength isn't the greatest, based on what I've seen, which I would know that. Would you
Fair point.
be able to lift Vincent in the event that he needs to move quickly from the top of one of those pillars or top of the giant?
Well, as you look out, those pillars seem to be about 60 feet tall. 40 feet tall.
That's better. That works.
They're around 40 feet tall. They're kind of squarish at the base, and then a circular pole goes up to just a flat top on top of them. They clearly look like they've seen a fair bit of use and damage over the years.
So they're sturdy.
Yes.
Okay, you?
So, out of character, the lift, push, drag weight limit, would that qualify for me picking him up and flying the man?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I kind of look him up and down. He could be light enough. I'm not as weak as you make me seem.
Everyone, compared to the amount of strength that I show, is significantly weaker. So my apologies.
No, I see where you're coming from. That makes sense.
Look at this.
I don't know. Vincent, how much do you weigh?
Right around $170.
You weigh as much as a
I
buck.
could do it. How do you know how much a deer weighs, though?
Have you ever thrown a deer before? I can tell you pretty accurately how much a deer weighs.
You hear the guy coming up the stairs, and he goes, "Get ready. They should be done soon." And as you look out, since you weren't really paying attention, you were talking. You realize that it's down to a 2-on-1. Everybody else seems to be unconscious. And he goes, "Come on, let's go." And as you guys descend the stairs back down, you see the 2 people charge in at the 1 guy. And then you hear loud roars as you lose sight of what's happening, and more cheering. The stadium seems to be quite packed today.
As we're coming down and we lose sight, but we hear the crash of the 2-on-1, we don't know what the outcome is. We can't see that, correct?
No, you can't.
Fair enough. Alright. Looks like it's go time, boys.
You guys get down there, and he's like, "All right. Stuff away, stuff away." And you see a bunch of people go running out as you come down, carrying stretchers for some of them, and most of them seem to be clerics or healers of some kind.
Up, 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 up.
And they go running out, and then you see 2 guys come walking in, holding each other up on top of themselves. And you realize that the 2-on-1 had favored the 2.
Do we recognize these 2 from anywhere?
No, you don't. They don't seem to have any specific markings for mercenaries or any of the house families of the noble military or anything. And then after a minute goes by or so, the rest of them come walking in, and they seem to be, you hear the crowd cheering for the fight, and their 12 are taken off to the side, and they seem to be getting taken care of, and they're kind of like, shaking each other's hands, being good sports, nice fight to each other. And he looks at you guys and he goes, "All right, get out there. You have 30 seconds once you enter the ring, and then the beast will be released."
Relentless is going to look around and... Where's our giant?
He looks at you and goes, "Giant?"
Yes, we registered a giant to fight in this arena match.
Oh, you're hilarious. Get out there.
I swear, if there's a deer out there, it's getting German suplexed out of frustration. All right, is everyone ready?
What's the plan? We hold the middle?
I think the best course of action would be to steer them around the middle, so that way we can get fire support from the top of the pillars. If we exceed that range, we might not have the support of you and Vincent. So keeping it local would probably be the best course of action.
There's nothing in this arena I can't hit.
Relentless hears you, but then sees you have one eye.
Nothing to the right
How
of
does he roll so high on perception?
What do you think I gave up the eye for?
magics.
Oh shit.
Oh shit, is your name Odin? Anyways, I'm going out to the middle. And,
Relentless is going to rush out past you because we only have 30 seconds
right.
the second we step in. So,
All right.
positions,
Yeah.
everybody. Go now.
Everybody put yourself in a position where you want to be.
We should have time in 30 seconds to attempt to fly Vincent on top of one of these pillars, right?
Yeah. You guys have entered the arena, and about 6 seconds have passed.
Dope. We got time.
Fantastic. Vincent, I'm going to take you on top of this pillar here.
Let's do it.
That
And then
takes
I'm going
you...
to...
All right.
Go ahead. I was going to go to this one then.
Okay.
Well, 5, 10, 15,
And as you
20,
guys
25.
enter the arena, He's like looking. He sees you guys as you look back, and you're flying up there. You see the guy close the gate behind you, and he goes, "They must have really thought you have a giant with you with what they're saying you're gonna fight. Good luck." And as 30 seconds go by, the doors on the west end open.
Laser raptors.
And two huge ankylosauruses come charging out. And they seem to be extremely angry. Everybody roll initiative.
Why are you like this, DM? Fucking dinosaurs. Man, it's a great way to stay in shape.
Seriously though,
We'll get the low ones
How
out where
did
it
I
doesn't
beat
matter.
you?
Get them out
I used all
now.
my energy flying your ass up there.
All right, Hrothgar, combat has started.
Okay, I've been on mute this whole time, and I've been trying to talk, because, Jack, this is really important.
Okay.
I need you to tell me this. Do you think there are any ankylosauruses in that picture?
No.
That's
Okay.
that is the stock image that the
Yeah, that's
game
the only
provides
image they have.
for Dino.
I know, I understand, but I'm not gonna look up to fix every freaking stock image they have in here, or it would
I
take
just
me
thought
forever.
it would be a really funny moment as we all tell you that that wasn't an ankylosaurus and that you might
Well, I
not
can
know
make it
what
a
one
T-Rex
was.
and just make this a
Azir,
TTK.
shut up.
Shut
Please.
Each
up.
one is
No,
two
no, no.
T-Rexes and a
What you're
Stegosaurus.
forgetting is, on this world, that's what you call an ankylosaurus, that picture.
There you go.
Okay.
By the way, they use that picture for like all the dinosaurs.
And what's weird is that there are so many dinosaurs in the picture.
I know. It's like, here's a general idea of what you might possibly be fighting.
Fucking dinosaurs,
It's
G.
just two balls of dinosaurs duct taped.
But Hrothgar,
Rolling toward
you're
them.
up.
I'm up? Okay. I don't see me in the combat tracker lit up or anything. Like, are we locked and everything? There it is.
Hang on, I meant to lock it. I thought there we go. Now you're officially locked.
Alright, I would like to bonus action rage.
Get him, boy.
And I will stand my ground, slamming Molly into the dirt in front of me to try and taunt them over. And I will also frenzy when I rage.
Okay.
So for my action, I have a ready to attack then, for if they enter my 5-foot range.
Sorry, I had to make some adjustments. He charges towards you. But he doesn't get in your range.
Okay.
He is just shy of you.
Azir's really regretting not bringing alcohol into this arena right now.
Azir.
I brought mine. I got my barrel.
Alright. So... Azir's thinking. I'll say it out loud so that everybody knows Azir's thought process on this. Is a master of the gladiatorial ring. Azir's gonna realize that these animals are probably not gonna have very good sight, but they're gonna have excellent senses of smell and hearing. So he immediately knows that the smoke bottle, the everlasting smoke bottle, is probably not going to be super helpful here. Because it doesn't matter. They probably don't react very well off of sight. So Azir, as he's walking over this way, he's going to try and catch Relentless's eye and try to motion to Relentless that we need to be flanking these individuals, and we should take one at a time if we can. And then he is going to come over here and try to use a hide action so he can sneak up so he can evade detection by the second Ankylosaurus.
All right. By the way, this is the picture they give you for dinosaurs.
That's a pretty shitty picture, Fantasy Grounds.
That's
Those little
D&D
dinosaurs.
official.
Well, that's a Wizards of the Coast. And what's sad
it
is they own Magic the Gathering. They have
I
plenty of
know!
pictures of dinosaurs.
They're even releasing a book in a month on the Magic for it.
Yeah,
but,
like you own Magic the Gathering, and they literally 2 sets ago was a set all about dinosaurs.
Yeah.
all right,
this is what it's
Azir,
from.
give me your stealth check for hide. You feel hidden.
Great.
I feel good. I'm feeling great.
Relentless.
Relentless, you can see Hrothgar is, well, Azir snuck into that position, and Hrothgar is kind of like trying to hold the line here and draw them in with his tantrums.
Okay. Relentless is going to move there. And I'm going to burn 2 of my Kai points to use Shadow Arts.
Ooh.
That says Flurry of Blows, but that's just how I have to burn the Kai points. So I know they're used. So Shadow Arts, starting when you choose this tradition at 3rd level, which I am, you can use your Kai to duplicate the effects of certain spells. As an action, you can spend 2 Kai points to cast Darkness, Dark Vision, Pass Without a Trace, or Silence, without providing material components. Additionally, you gain the Minor Illusion cantrip if you don't already know it. So I would like to cast Darkness right over top of the, depending on the range, because it doesn't specify. So I'd like to know the range of that.
I think it's 30 or 60 feet, so you should be good. But, you have to look at the
Shoot.
spell.
Had informed me I would have added this all to your thing before.
I just saw it.
Darkness has a 60-foot range.
Okay.
Concentration.
So, yep.
It is a
15-foot radius.
15-foot radius. Holy shit, that is massive.
You say 15-foot radius?
Yeah,
radius.
Bring that down a little. There you go.
So I'm gonna
That's a
put that
15-foot diameter. It was right
Yeah.
the first time.
You were right the first time.
to 60.
Yeah, 30.
No,
Radius
because from
half
center
a
you've got. From the center of this circle, he's got. It needs to be 3 squares, right? Every square is 5 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but it's a
never mind.
radius, not a diameter.
That's what that's what that circle is doing. It is doing a radius, not a diameter. Yeah, so shrink it back down.
To 15.
Yeah, there
Yeah,
it
I think
is.
it's, I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure. It's
So 15-foot
The
radius.
pro-
If you look at the center.
Wizards is so dumb because certain spells say radius and certain spells say diameter, so it can get confusing.
Yeah, they really need to be better about consistency on stuff like that.
Well, that's where I'm gonna put it. And does that hit both the Ankylosaurus and both of them?
Yeah, whatever. You see how the pink squares are highlighted?
Yeah,
Okay.
As long as their squares are.
both in it.
Okay.
Well, I think for spells like this, they have to be fully encompassed to be effective.
Basically, just think of that circle as almost like a wall. You
Yeah,
can't
like-
see through it.
That back
Yeah,
one
so the
cannot
one-
see through it anymore.
The one has its tail in it, but it can see out, and the other one has its head in it, and it can't see any.
Yeah, so that's not bad.
Okay.
Do you have to concentrate on this spell?
It does not say
Yes.
anything about concentration, or is it?
No, all right. Yeah,
Oh.
you don't because it's an ability for you.
Yeah, it's an
Oh.
ability for me. It's
Fair
not
point.
a spell. So that's that. That's my turn. And yeah, that's it.
So you guys are preparing for this fight, and then you hear to yourself the giant wooden door gets lifted up and opens.
And his name
And
is John
Jingora
Cena.
comes walking in, and you see like all these people behind her, and she's yelling in giant, and she's just like, "No, I'm supposed to be fighting here." And as she lets the door go, and it goes slamming back behind everything, and she looks out behind it, and she reaches behind her back, pulls out her staff, taps it on the ground, and a giant scythe-like ice blade made out of ice shoots out of the side at the bottom of it. And Vincent, you're up. And the
All right.
crowd is now losing their shit after a frost giant comes bursting in, because they don't know whose side she's on.
So I can only see the
You
front
can only see
ankylosaur.
the first one.
All right.
Sorry if I cut you.
Oh no, you're fine. All right, I'm gonna cast this spell on it,
Ooh.
It has.
and he
failed.
failed. And I'm going to suggest to that ankylosaur that the ankylosaur behind him is planning on murdering him.
You're using suggestion, right?
Yes. So he truly needs to believe that he needs to defend himself from that ankylosaur.
Turf war.
I have to check something.
Is there an intelligence requirement, and is that smart enough to?
I don't think it is smart enough to understand you.
Okay.
And I don't even think it's one of those, like, even if it can, it's so stupid it doesn't understand suggestion.
Yeah, I was gonna say, usually with the spells like that, like Tasha's Hideous
Yeah.
Laughter's the same way, needs an intelligence score of at least 3.
Okay, it didn't say anything in the description, so I just kind of assumed it would get the gist. But
I mean,
Maybe
technically, it
It's probably a
doesn't.
DM call for that.
yeah, how do you want to rule that, Jack?
It says here and can understand you. It can't understand you.
Okay.
It
I
doesn't.
guess the next question is, should I do something else, or
Yeah.
Yeah,
just
we'll
retcon-
cancel that
retcon
because
it.
you would have an understanding of your own spells.
okay,
normally.
sounds good. Let's go with this then.
If it was Jurassic Park's, Indominus Rex, then you could communicate with it. Because that
He'd have
thing
to be
was...
down here with his hands out like Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
Your Eldritch Blast goes whizzing over the top of its shell and into the darkness.
The
Or scales.
I attack the darkness.
Just out of curiosity, does the darkness absorb? Because his blasts are pretty bright. So does the darkness
Yeah,
just
no
swallow?
light.
Yeah, the second it touches the darkness and goes in, it disappears.
That is amazing.
Yeah, it is a magical darkness that you'd need like Devil Sight from Warlock Invocations
Yeah.
to see through.
So you guys hear a bunch of noise and slamming going on around as the Ankylosaurus is freaking out at what's going on, but you can't see it. All you hear is a bunch of stomping and slamming on the ground. You're up.
No.
You broke up a little
All
bit.
right. Oh. Let us summon a spiritual weapon, because that's a whole lot of fun now. Considering these are plated armor assholes, we are going to do a form of... Let's do a hammer. A nice maul. You know what? Call back to Hrothgar. Why not? And we don't hit shit, but at least it's out there.
You make a giant floating maul that looks exactly like Molly show up and swing at Ankylosaurus 12, and it bounces off of the armored scales on top of it, doing no damage.
Boo.
Relentless is gonna look
Do
back
it.
at you like, can you make it bigger? So he's opening with his arms, like super huge, like make it bigger. Drop a big hammer on this thing.
Is that your turn?
We're also going to shoot at it with a crossbow. That makes sense.
Pachoo.
You're just full of tricks.
Woohoo! and one of these.
Based on use history, can we say that he
Yeah.
aimed for the eyes?
I don't think he would want to pop them early, right?
No, we want to save them.
Yeah.
Eye
Well, I guess you
kebabs.
could eat them like a shish kebab or
Yeah,
something.
so I
After.
was thinking kebabs.
Oh, so Chris, if you right-click anywhere and go to pointers, you can draw like a shape for your weapon, like maybe a 5-foot square or something, just so you can
Ooh.
remember where it is, and it'll be whatever color your dice is. So
That makes sense.
That's how I got a big
people, I
picture.
believe, can occupy the same space if we want to, because it's
You
just kind
can, because
floating.
it's like there and not there.
It's a molly. It's a triangle.
All right,
Cool.
you done with your turn?
Yes.
It's time.
All right. It seems like everybody's in position enough, so I will move in.
Right next to the floating molly.
Yeah.
Don't wield him.
And I'm gonna go reckless. It's time to get wild
Wild and crazy kids.
and swing molly
Whoa.
and miss. So as since I frenzied as a bonus action, I can attack one more time.
Oof.
Man,
Some high
good
AC.
times. Whiff whiff. I'm distracted by the spiritual weapon, I think.
And Hrothgar comes up and makes two hard slams on the back of its scaly armor, and both of his bounce off just like the illusionary molly, much to his surprise. The ankylosaur spins its club's tail around to smack you,
I
and
jump.
it misses,
Are we in a
swinging
zone
it
of
down
melee?
and slamming the ground next to you as you dodge out of the way. Azir.
All right. All right. So I am going to. Here's gonna dart out and try to stab this ankylosaur directly in front of me, at the point where the plates meet with
All right,
its
you have sneak
underbelly.
attack.
Yeah, I have sneak attack always.
Yeah.
I have sneak attack if there are no other enemies within 5 feet of it. I have sneak attack if it does have enemies within 5 feet of it, and I have sneak attack if I have any friends within 5 feet of it.
The only thing I think
It's
that could stop you
ridiculous.
is if for some reason you are being imposed with disadvantage, like you're blinded or something. I don't think you get sneak attack when you have disadvantage. But
I
The only
think
time
that's
you
true.
you don't get sneak attack is when it's two enemies standing within 5 feet of each other. Your thing is only for one-on-one combat.
yeah, but I think the bog standard rogue has the other option, so I guess it'd be your call.
Yeah, it does. It has the ally, it doesn't have the enemy.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
All right, I hit it. And then I'm gonna disengage to
With your
jump
cunning.
back 10 feet.
All right, got some melee damage up in here. Thank you for that, Azir.
We got ourselves a Dark Souls situation. Run up and hit it and then run away.
Yeah. Roll twice to be sure.
Alright. I'm gonna run up to the side of this ankylosaur. Jack, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
I have an item in my inventory called the Rope of Mending, and based on its description, I can cut off 2 pieces, and they mend back together. Could I tie those around the Ankylosaurus's ankles, say the command word, they tether, and drop this thing on its face?
Yeah.
Okay,
You're
so
trying to knock it prone.
yeah, but with his feet bound. I just wanted to make sure there were no limitations on the rope because it doesn't specify that they can get out of it. So if he goes prone, he's staying prone because they only have 2 legs and those little arms, and you can't untie knots. So
Well, they have 4
Ankylosaurs are
legs.
4 legs.
Yeah,
Don't look at the picture.
ah,
they have 4 legs. So he's on 4 legs and he has a clubbed tail.
okay. So if I subdue his front ones, is it a possibility that they can break out of it if I choose to go that route?
If he thrashes about, more than likely he's pretty strong.
Okay, then I won't do that. I'll move in and yeah, do what I do best. Thoughts and prayers. Come at me, bitch. You really? Do it again. Really? Well, Rothgar. Okay, I see it now.
It's okay, Azir. We'll carry the team.
Might have to. Alright, that's it. That's all I can do. Give it a couple punches to the side of the head, and it just is not responding.
So as you come over and do 2 nice punch stabs into it, your fists and daggers deflect off of its armory hide as well, after kind of seeing Azir on the other side get it a good stab in the undergut. And you notice your your Drangora walking over,
I just
and
want
she looks down at Hrothgar and goes, I can just beat this thing up, right? In giant.
I'm enraged, so I'm just screaming, Cal! In giant.
You see her bring up her scythe and slam it into its back once, then pull it out of its meaty flesh and slam it into its back again. And as it slams into the second time, she snaps off the ice end, leaving it inside its body, and the ice scythe reforms, taking up on it. And it goes limp to the ground and drops dead. And the crowd lets out this huge roar upon seeing something defeated. And she looks down at Hrothgar and goes, well, that wasn't so hard. You guys are getting the realization that having a frost giant fight with you in the arena is quite crazy.
Jack, can I see the other one, or is he
You
still
can't.
completely obscured?
Completely obscured. You can't see him.
Coolio.
Attack the darkness!
Yeah, just throw it in
Yeah.
there.
I don't think you can. I think your spells, you have to see them.
I need to be able to, to see them, like some sort of an outline. I can't cast magic off of smell. Unfortunately, because that would be
so
badass
cool.
as fuck.
I was thinking the same thing. It'd be so cool.
Unfortunately, from your angle, you don't see any of it. You can prep a spell for when it comes out and cast that.
Yeah, I'm gonna prep my Eldritch Blast. As soon as I see it, I'm just gonna let it loose.
All right, that works. That's your turn.
Yes.
Well, you hear more stomping, and it comes emerging finally out of the darkness.
Life finds
Vincent,
a way. Nice.
Nice hit.
Oh.
Good thing you have that agonizing blast invocation.
So you see the second Vincent stand up there and conjure his blue fire, I believe you say it is.
Blue
Your
ice.
It
Eldritch
looks
Blast?
almost like ice.
Your ice like spike of Eldritch Blast energy scanning the arena, and it comes stomping out, and you instantly throw it out with your hand, searing it right in the neck, doing a little damage as you see it pierce it. And it comes roaring out, and it swings at his ear. And it hits.
Oh.
And Azir gets knocked prone.
I love the -1.
Damn.
I had to reread that.
You, it's your turn.
Alright. Fuck, can I move this thing again?
What was that?
I think 20 feet? if I'm not
Yeah.
wrong.
Alright, 5, 10, 15.
How far can it be from you?
It was only cast of 60. Or rather,
If it has a cast of 60, it can probably be with 60 feet away from you,
Yeah.
so that's fine.
in other case.
You can only move it 20 feet each time.
Yeah. This is only
You have
20 feet.
enough
That's
to
it.
make it.
Oh, well then let's do that. Can I... No, that didn't work. Aha!
Here, I'll move it for you. Oh, there you
I moved it. And he would be out of my line of sight for an attack, yes?
You can see
Range
him.
attack. Okay.
You can't see him straight on, but you can see his fat side sticking out from behind that pole.
Well, first we'll try with the spiritual weapon, which doesn't do shit.
It's a really good move. I feel so bad that it misses like this.
At least
Well,
it's
Right?
not
roll a 2.
guided
it's-
bolt.
Hey, but you know what? I think I rolled higher than last time, didn't I? Did I roll a 1 last time? No, I rolled a
Nah.
9.
Yeah, I would say you didn't roll a 1. That would have been automatic miss.
Yeah.
And that would have been bad.
But let's do another ammo. We'll try this guy. And we still don't hit. Well, we're done here.
It ain't
Alright, I
easy
think
being cheesy.
I'll run up and stand inside the spiritual weapon. I'll kind of haphazardly hold my maul over my head and try and line it up with the spiritual one. In my rage, I just assume it's going to give me extra powers. I'll go reckless. And we will attack this guy from the side. Oh, yeah!
Molly, give me
Wait,
strength!
let's go ahead.
Roll damage.
Show me the damage.
That's a lot at once.
As you see Spectral Molly bounce off of it, you run over and slam your Molly in and hit him under the side, just under his armor, and you feel a nice, squishy, meaty slap.
I swing
Yes.
again.
You get its nice hard damage.
Okay, that's my turn.
And you swing into that nice soft spot again.
And I missed completely when I didn't have the spiritual weapon occupying my space. I now believe that ball guides me.
What
I
a
got
twist!
A crit and a hit.
This is how we get believers.
All right. So it costs my movement to stand, right?
Only half. Half your
Half your movement.
Cool. Stand up. Azir's pretty upset. He's actually really upset at the proprietor of this coliseum at the moment. He is definitely going to exchange words after this fight. But he's going to run this way. And he understands that, like, he's hurting. He's stiff. He's not going to dive straight in there. So he's actually going... That was all of his movement, actually, I think. Yeah, that was all of his movement. Wait, was it? No, that was only 10 feet, right?
Yeah,
You
if you
have
can move
5
30,
more.
then yeah, you have 5 more.
He's going to hop back, and he is going to... Okay, explain to me how the dodge action works.
Well, first of all, if you're moving out of his threat range, do you want a bonus action, your cunning action, to disengage first? So you don't.
You don't have to do that. If you attack him, he can't make opportunity attacks against you.
He
That's
didn't
true.
attack this turn.
Yeah, I haven't attacked yet. But how does the dodge action work again?
So if you
Gives
declare dodge
disadvantage.
action, yeah, you basically any attacks incoming to you for the next round will come in at disadvantage,
Oh,
as
okay.
you're focusing all your energy on avoiding stuff.
Well, then I am going to try and stab it again.
All right.
It's a big ol' whiff, and then a cunning action dodge. Azir
Alright.
starts like ducking his head back and forth, ducking and diving. Looks like fucking Rocky Balboa up in this shit, but when Rocky Balboa was bad and drunk. Y'all remember that movie, right?
Yeah.
The bad drunk Rocky Balboa?
Yes. Azir makes a stab at it as he dodges away, and it deflects off of its armor. And Relentless comes charging in.
Let's see if this one counts.
Boom.
Maximum damage.
Relentless is feeling it. He's feeling it. You feeling it now, Mr. Krabs?
And Relentless runs over and gives it 2 nice stabs in the underside of its armor into its soft belly.
Thanks for the opening, Rothgar.
Think ball.
I'm just holding my maul up in the spiritual ball, like admiring it.
That's the end of my turn.
Dringora moves over, and she says to Hrothgar, and she's like, "Should I kill it?"
He's too busy admiring the maul. But I will say in giant, in Ball's name.
When you say in Ball's name for her to do her attack, she lifts up her scythe, and her neck glows, and she just stops attacking.
Uh-oh.
And it goes to Vincent's turn, and she has a huge look of confusion on her face.
From this vantage point, do I have a shot over her?
Yes, you can see through your allied squares.
Just wanted to double check I wasn't going to accidentally thump
You're
the giant
40
in the back
feet
of the
up.
head.
Yeah,
If you roll a one, you might.
you're 40 feet up. She's 22 feet tall. You can see over her enough, and you know you can hit it.
Hit it, boy. Hit it from the back. Chew. Uh-oh.
It turns in its anger as another ice spike goes slamming into it.
Oh,
Slaps the shit out of Hrothgar.
he gives as he receives. He's a good lover.
But you are not knocked prone. You.
All right.
You've just seen Hrothgar take a club straight to the chest, and he just stands there like, "Rah, ha, ha, ha!" It's still kind of hurt a bit.
Should he even have to roll prone checks? since he doesn't have knees.
You think I'm Hank Hill's father with a beard?
Fit him in.
I do now.
You guys remember
Very
when
good at
Doors
this
used to have
story.
advantage on getting knocked prone? Good times.
So from here, I'm going to try to shoot it in the neck. Just above it.
Best cleric in the
You
league.
need to try your spiritual weapon as well.
I will. I'm going to shoot
Alright.
it first, though.
Cheer.
Jesus Christ.
You shoot your arrow and you see it bounce off of its armored scale.
It's okay. You got the bad rollout this time. Now the maul will hit.
Wow.
Good call.
Finish him. Bum bum bum.
In Ball's name. Holy
That was an
Oh,
attack.
that's an
roll.
attack roll.
My apologies.
My heart
No.
stopped.
Mine did
In
too.
Ball's name.
I was like, how did an attack that already hit miss? Damn bird people, I don't understand you.
And you, as Hrothgar's standing there, a copy of Molly goes flying through the air and spins and smacks it in its underbelly. And it lets out a horrifying dinosaur noise, because I don't know what they sound like. And you cheers.
Like a chicken.
And is that your turn?
Shit like a chicken.
Yes, I return the spiritual maul toward his other hand, but yes.
And Hrothgar?
As
You're
if
up.
it was guiding my hand as I see the spiritual maul come off of my maul and dip it, I will follow suit. Like working the railroad.
Oh. Oh boy.
I avoided something good.
You try and crack its giant plates on it, its scaled plates on its back, and you bounce off.
Alright, so with my bonus action, I'll swing again. And the first one was kind of like a test. Like trying to line it up just right with that spiritual weapon. I didn't quite commit to it. And again, I'm just not quite sure.
And you slam it back in the exact same spot, and you hear it bounce off.
Sharpen that
Feeling the
hammer, boy.
rattling of your hammer through your arms.
You see, I need to sharpen my hammer. God damn it.
You know what?
Azir, you are up.
Needs more whetstones.
Normal stuff. Dash forward at 5. Aim for its underbelly. Or I might have put 2 sneak attacks on me. I don't know if Fantasy Grounds does that.
You can actually do that. And you have 2 on you. I took 1 off. You're
Cool.
fine.
So I'm gonna jump forward. Try to do the stabby at the underbelly. A hit.
You needed that.
You
Kill it.
stab it right in the underbelly. And it lets out a roar, and it goes flopping down onto the ground, hitting it, sliding to the ground, falling unconscious. And the crowd lets out a huge cheer, realizing the creature has been slain. And you
I
hear
pull
the
the
gate
cap out of
open.
my. Sorry.
Oh, you hear the gate open up at the end. You guys came through,
I
and the
pull
crew
my,
starts
the-
coming out.
Sorry.
All right, go ahead, Azir.
I pull the cap of my ever-smoking bottle to create an obscured cloud around me and this ankylosaur.
All right, as you do that, people are starting to run up and come through the smoke, and they're like, "What the hell's causing this smoke?" And you see some what look like Beastmaster type people with whips and chains coming back over to the still breathing unconscious ankylosaur. Like, they want to keep this thing alive. It's pretty entertaining.
Is the one that I just killed still breathing?
Yes, that's the one that's still breathing. It's
And
unconscious.
these beast tamers can see me now.
Your stuff is spilling out, but it hasn't spilled out enough to cover you yet, so they can't see you.
I just recork it and start walking away. I tried to get you a present, but
There is
How
a
about
dead
the other one? Is that? I was gonna ask about that one.
Yeah, it seems to be dead over there, and there's a few people. They're tying chains around it, and it seems they're bringing out a cart. They're going to try and get it up on so they can get it out of here, and they're chaining up all the other one. other ones, and you guys can start heading back to the gate because the gate guy's coming over. He's like, "Come on, let him clean up so we can get the next round underway." And I'm gonna remove lock on everybody's tokens, so you are free to move.
I would like to call down to these Beastmasters and ask if they care if I take a souvenir from the dead one.
They both look up at you, the two that are with the dead one, and they're just like, "What do you want from it?"
The eyes.
They just shrug and go, "All right, quickly take them. We got to get going."
I take my eyes and I leave.
All right.
I'm gonna try to do a cool pole slide down this thing.
So Vincent, give me acrobatics or athletics. Your call.
I mean, you could ask for help.
Okay, so you grab onto the pole and start sliding down. And you start sliding faster and faster. And you realize that you're now falling.
With style?
And you take 3 damage when your butt slams into the ground from falling 20 feet instead of falling the full 40.
Sounds good to me.
So how much would Ankylosaurus eyes, a pair of them, weigh?
I don't know how much eyeballs normally weigh, but they're probably we'll go with they're the size of a billiard ball.
I would say like a human head if you look at the picture that Justin threw up.
Well, there is debate between Travis and I whether that is scientifically accurate.
There is
Alright, so-
100% not scientifically accurate. There is no debate.
So we're just gonna go with they're the size of a billiard ball, like an 8 ball.
Cool. I'm gonna give them a pound each then.
Yeah.
Fair?
Yeah, that sounds fair. All right, so as you guys get to this gate, it's about 18-ish feet tall, and you guys all proceed to walk in, put yourselves in the stands for the moment. And Jorngora ducks under and proceeds to walk in, and all the other gladiators and people back there like going by, and you just see the guy like who called you back in is holding a clipboard, and he's just like, "Oh, I can't believe you weren't lying to me. You have a giant fighting with you."
We do.
When I saw what they were sending out against you, I thought they were screwing with us, and we'd have to pick up the pieces of you and put you back together. They don't even have it marked what you're fighting next, and he points to a thing on there that says BloodCats, because you guys give them your name as well, and it just has an X in between and then question marks. It's like, they ain't even telling me. And he like turns it around and he's like, "May the gods protect you."
In Ball's name.
Do we have a moment to like pop potions or do healy spells?
And yeah, he looks over at you and he goes, "You got an hour before your next fight.
Oh, we got
Just
an hour.
enough
We can do
time
short
to
rest.
rest."
We should do
He's
a
like,
short
"You
rest.
probably won't have that much time next time."
Yeah, we could do that.
So you guys are getting a short rest.
Dope.
I'm gonna use some hit die. All right.
If anybody else wants to use hit die,
I think the only person that got
Azir,
wrecked.
Travis.
Yeah, I'm working on it. I get no respect despite taking all the hits for the team.
As you
I
guys
took a
walk-
crit, but I absorbed half of it because I was raging.
Anything you get back on a short rest, make sure you got it back. I don't remember everybody's stuff off the top of my head.
Well, when you click party taking short rest, it should auto do it.
It doesn't auto do absolutely everything, but
Oh, right.
that's
Yeah.
most of the stuff.
Yeah, it did my stuff, so I'm good.
Yeah, I'm
Alright.
good. Oh wait, Jack.
Yes.
I
You
frenzied.
need to roll for exhaustion. Oh, you just get
No,
a
I
level
get
of
it.
exhaustion.
Yeah, I get it when it's over.
So typically with gladiator pits, they have restocks of ammunition and various things.
Yeah,
Oh,
there is a. You look over. There's a armory-ish section with a guy standing by it, which has multiple swords and stuff, and like piles of arrows. Most of yours snapped on its back, so you didn't recover any that you fired at him.
Fair point. Well,
But-
then I shall go speak with this man about collecting bolts.
You walk over there, and he returns the same amount you lost to you.
Woohoo.
And you hear like more wild cheering outside going on, and you see another like group of 12 people walk out. More crazy stuff is being screamed. You guys gonna watch any of this, or?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna sit here and watch and talk to the group. As we're watching, just what would you guys think of that last battle? And showed them the new move that they haven't seen me do yet, was the shadow arts.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Well, it's all based off of what Azir said. I mean, he said isolate them and take them down. So I figured what better way than to trap one in complete darkness.
Yeah, it worked out.
I think it's going to be a lot more effective when we're fighting people who don't rely as much on smell, but it worked very well in that fight.
Make a good point.
Azir, you took a pretty heavy blow there. You okay?
I am definitely sore, but I will be okay. You see, I was not expecting that. I don't think I've ever seen such creatures in a Colosseum before. They are far too dangerous.
You fought well, Azir.
If we had even one less person, we would have been crushed. That is what is confusing to me about these gladiators. I would like to see what the type of man they have in this town, and I'd like to go watch the remaining bit of the match.
You guys are sitting up there watching the fight go on, and it actually seems to be pretty evenly matched, going back and forth. Seems
And
to
what do
be
they fight?
It's another group of adventurers, basically, versus another group of adventurers, duking it out. And everybody, just give me a d20.
Oh, sure, now I roll high.
All right, and after about 5-ish minutes, the fight seems to be really dragging out, and finally, it ends with one side seeming to have more of a victory, with having 4 out of their 6 up, but all 4 seem to be pretty bruised and beaten, and a group comes running out and helps them out. And then a couple of more fights go by, and you hear, "Get ready, you're up." And there's 2 people who have just entered the ring. It seems to be a one-on-one. And they don't usually expect these fights to last too long, so you're getting called up to get ready to go.
I'm looking noticeably exhausted.
When I
You get-
agreed to multiple beast fights, I was unaware that the CR of the beast fight would be this high.
He looks at you and he goes, "Yeah. Uh-huh. Look at your friend, and maybe you should hide behind her if you're that worried."
Where the hell did you guys get ankylosaurs, by the way?
He goes, "Oh, I like that one. We got some enclave visiting from Chult. They brought us a ton of ridiculous stuff. Hell, you think those are the only 2 we got?" Although they didn't expect them to be killed, They're kind of annoyed about the one being murdered, but apparently
yeah.
they made a huge killing because nobody bet on you in the last round, except for
Well,
maybe
no
a
shit,
handful of
nobody
people.
bet on us. I wouldn't have bet on us either, asshole.
Well, anybody who bet on you probably made a killing last time. Now
Hooray.
get out there as you hear more cheers and see a crew of people go running out. And a few seconds later, both competitors come walking down, one a little more beat up than the other, having obviously been healed back to consciousness. And he thumbs at you and he's like, get out there. And you guys
like
may
this.
start walking out into the pit again.
So
So everybody place themselves again.
Vincent, shall we take our previous positions?
I don't think Azir's jumping up to the front line this time around.
Yeah, let's have Younger kind of take the middle.
All right. David,
Yes.
you want to climb the pillar? All right, well, be taken to the top of the pillar again.
Yeah, let's do that again.
All right, so you takes you back up to the same pillar. You can put yourself on top of it. You, as you take him up there and put him down, you have this all of a sudden realization that you didn't bring him down from the pillar last time, and you're just like, oh. You don't say anything. You realize to yourself,
I put him there, but he didn't get down. Oh, but I didn't put him down. We'll have to address this later.
Don't worry, everybody. I'm lactose intolerant, so I can't have cheese with my wine, but I can have cheap $1 cheesy puffs.
Boom.
Perfect pairing for boxed wine.
Mm-hmm.
and you start hearing the roar of the crowd chanting. And it seems they're actually doing a countdown to the start of this round. 10, 9, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, and the gates are opening. And as they hit 1, from the south and north, 2 ogres enter with forts on the back, with 3 goblins inside the forts of each. And from the west gate, 2 ogres enter carrying giant battering rams.
Good
Everybody roll initiative.
Y'all ready for another
God.
one?
What is this?
Holy crap, I'm probably not last.
I'm definitely last.
Rothgar, why'd you roll a disadvantage?
I am exhausted from my last frenzy,
Oh.
Zir, you're up.
so I will
Um,
not be as effective.
Oh, tokens aren't locked.
Oh shit. Well, pretend you were there. Now they're locked. All right. Tell me when you're done.
That's it for right now.
Do you wanna
Okay.
Prep a reaction.
Or take the dodge action or something.
He hasn't ended his turn yet.
Yep, I'm gonna use my action to pull the cork on my everlasting cloud bottle
nice.
and put it at my feet. I'm going to yell up to Relentless and Vincent, and I'm just gonna say, I will take away their sight, fight by sound and smell. And then I'm gonna prep a dodge action just in case. Actually, no, I think I'm going to prep an attack action for if they come at me in this cloud. And then I will end my turn there.
Do you know how big the cloud is? Like, could you do like a pointer or circle or something?
It instantly
grows.
starts spreading out and growing at an incredible rate. Hang on, I'll do the size.
Okay.
That's
Yeah,
interesting.
it actually grows by turn.
Oh wow. Is it like indefinite? Like, if you have enough time, you can just cover the
There
world.
you go.
with
So for the first turn, it has grown 10 feet, like almost instant.
It doesn't. It's not indefinite, but it gets big.
Yeah.
Cool.
It actually should get bigger faster, but that would cause ridiculous problems. So
Yep.
at the moment, it's not necessarily darkness either, but anybody in it who attacks is going to have disadvantage.
Yeah, it's supposed to start with a 60-foot radius and go the whole way up to 120 feet.
Yeah,
Jeez.
so I'm not going to start it at 60. So Azir,
Yeah.
are you good?
Yeah, I just have an attack action prepped and told everybody to let them know. I'm also going to yell over to
Canter
Relentless.
take an action to open or a bonus action?
Technically a bonus action.
Okay, then you can't use your dodge then, but you will still get the same bonuses from the cloud. And you have a action prepped.
Yeah, I have
Or
an
an attack.
attack prepped.
Alright.
And I'm going to actually yell up right at the end of my turn. I'm going to say, Relentless, you and I should take care of this gate. And then I'm going to yell up to Vincent, and I'm going to be like, help the others at their gate.
Relentless. Christian?
I
Yes.
moved.
Yeah, you put a movement.
Oh shit, sorry, I had something up in front of me. I was waiting for you to say something. Alright.
We can go ahead and pop Flurry of Blows. Thoughts and Prayers. That's number 1. Thoughts and Prayers. Number 2. Thoughts and Prayers. Number 3. That's my turn.
So you guys see Relentless go running up as the smoke starts to spill out and fill, and before it encloses around him, he comes up and gets in 3 quick jabs right into the ogre's gut. And then as he finishes his last blow, the darkness envelops him. Alright. For all intensive purposes, these are like on top of him. I just don't want to put them on top.
Oh, the 3 goblins on the sides. They're on the back of the bigger
Yeah,
creature.
they're on his back.
Right.
And he will aim his short bow out and try and shoot Relentless as he disappears into the fog. And you'll just hear it thud on the ground.
Gotta be quicker than that.
Goblin 5, however, not having that off, will aim his terrified little self at the giant. And it'll bounce off of her patch armor shield plating. Goblin 3 will also aim at Relentless, who I'm gonna drive myself insane by constantly clicking in disadvantage. And he will also miss.
For the viewers at home, Relentless is inside the smoke, and he lives in the smoke. So this is perfect for him. So as
Goblin
he hears them coming
6
through, he's dodging every single one.
will aim at Hrothgar, and it'll go whizzing past him. You,
Play the blind monk.
you're up.
All right.
Triggered.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Yes.
Part of my training was they put a blindfold on me and tried to swing at me like a pinata in the
Since
dark.
Mr. Ugly ass ogre 4 over here, we are gonna summon the blade of ball
Oh my god.
and hit him in the face.
That
So you
pulled
guys
it
will
up.
see a magical
Yes.
blade with ball's symbol.
A bone dagger, even.
We'll describe the blade because I don't exactly know how you want it to.
Gotcha. So the blade of ball is a bone dagger carved from, well, it's spiritual, so we'll leave that. But it appears to be a bone dagger, curved, jagged, with the handle a small symbol of ball across the. We're engraving the
And you see this
handle there.
dagger show up and stab right into the ogre. You?
And then we are going to try to shoot him in the face. Because we're going to stay away from big dudes. Those. So those.
Holy shit.
Ah.
That was a critical hit. All right, before you wait to roll your damage.
Got it.
Which one are you shooting for?
Yeah, dude on the bottom. I aim for the eyeball. No, right, forehead.
Hang
You know
on,
what?
hang
Actually,
on.
I like the shish kebab idea. It's a good idea.
Aim for the butthole.
Okay, roll your damage.
All right. And
Boom, 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 boom.
And that was on Ogre 4.
yes, sir.
Ogre 4 is stunned for 2 rounds.
Holy hell.
Did
That
you-
was
You
your
mean he's
critical
dead.
effect. It tore into you see your arrow shoot out, go into his shoulder, tear it off, and he lets out a roar and then like stops moving and grabbing his shoulder in all the intense pain he's taking.
I'm not gonna lie to you, Jack. Stunned for 2 rounds. In his health, he's just dead.
Yeah,
I mean-
leave him be then.
I will say in Giant, I'll ask her Yarn Gura to make sure those battering rams stay off of us. I want her to run distraction on those things.
You'll hear her smile and she's like, "Excellent, you're thinking the same thing I am." And you see her just charge right up.
Wish you
You
could
go to
flip her
town.
image so she's always pointing at the thing she's about to wreck.
Jesus God.
Ree?
Another
Jack,
crit.
I
Jack,
just looked down in the corner and saw that.
please, please do it like the drop kick in Thor 1.
In the mud, in the rain.
Yeah.
Jesus God.
It's not your world, way heavy.
Running start and everything.
I would, except for the special thing this gave. So she runs up, and you see her do a spin and drag the ice like blade across the ground and swing up super fast. And then you see something go flying further up in the air and just keep going. And you all look, and you see the ogre's right arm flying through the air and go colliding into the ground 20 feet to the north, and the crowd lets out a huge roar. Oh my
God.
God.
He is fucking some shit up tonight.
And as she spins it around, brings it across. She spins herself around and brings it back around and brings it to the back of his neck, pulling as hard as she can, putting its head clean off its shoulder, and then finishing her spin by kicking it in the chest, knocking it 10 feet back into the wall as its head flops to the ground, dead. And that's her turn.
Draw me a cone of the Gallagher splash zone in that section of the stadium.
Who brought their ponchos?
You're stunned, ogre.
So yeah, it's probably something like that. There's blood all over the place, and the crowd that is not in that section is losing their minds right now, cheering.
Mommy, I caught a vertebrae.
And you see that ogre try and move forward, ogre 4, and just can't. And then Goblin 8, since it didn't freaking zoom in. Okay, Goblin 8 shoots an arrow at Hrothgar, and it goes whizzing past him. Now it's Hrothgar's turn.
We'll move up here.
Your rage has worn off, by the way,
Yeah,
from last time.
I took it off after the last one. But I'm gonna rage again. And I'm not gonna go reckless. Oh wait, yeah I am. Why wouldn't I? And then let's swing them all. And from the frenzy style, I get a bonus action.
Nice.
Oh, you frenzied again.
I've frenzied again. I'm wild like that.
You hit smack your first one right across its armor, hitting it in the spot, and you're just like, no! And you turn it and you smack it in the same spot even harder, and you hear it let out a groan. Feeling that one get a solid thud. And this goblin's going to shoot down at Relentless and miss as well. And the ogre's going to roar back at you, Hrothgar, and swing his giant mace down, slamming into the ground next to you.
Let me tell you a fun story, everyone.
Oh,
if
boy.
we hadn't gotten my bracelets last session, that would have hit me.
Yes, it would have.
Yay!
And it comes around to the last ogre battering ram, and he lifts his battering ram and he swings it right into the side of Jorngora. Hitting her for a decent amount of damage. Vincent. David.
Yes. Alright, I was reading something on this. Okay, yeah, I don't have the range for that, but I am gonna do this.
Nice.
You see an Eldritch Blast go whizzing the whole way across the arena and slamming into Ogre 11, getting him for a nice chunk. Azir, it's your turn, and as this happens, so does this.
Did you set the bottle down, or do you like?
Yes, I did.
Oh, okay.
I didn't want it to
Vincent, you
obscure
can
everybody.
no longer see Relentless, Azir, and the Ogre. But you can see everything else because you're far above the clouds because they don't go up. They stay at like 10, 15 feet tall.
Okay, so it's just, to me, it looks like a little fog area that I just can't see into.
It's a fog
Yeah.
machine?
Yeah.
Basically.
That's so cool. And with Eldritch Blast coming out, it's a laser rock show, basically.
Well, it's not covering him. He's 40 feet in the air.
Okay.
But Azir, you're up. What are you doing?
Come over and pokey pokey.
All right. Make sure you got sneak attack on. You do.
Ba-boom! Ka-cha! And I want to say that I like run up in a Naruto style run, like low to the ground, hands back, rapier in it. This is anime as hell, dog. And I want to say that I run straight up to the ogre and it's stunned, shaking its head, and it can't see me because of the fucking glorious fog. And I want to like Neo walk halfway up the ogre, just like continue running up the ogre. As soon as I get to the like where it's the underneath of its jaw is in my reach, I just shove my rapier in it and I let go of the rapier. I do a fucking backflip. I look towards Relentless. I'm not even looking at the fucking ogre. I look towards Relentless where I know he can hear how cool this is. I know I can feel the respect radiating from his ears. And I land perfectly, and then the ogre just falls. I pull the rapier out of the ground, or out of the ogre's chops, and I just point it at one of the goblins that's still alive.
Beautiful.
Okay. So, Relentless, you don't see any of this.
But you hear all of it. In fact, actually, I narrated it out loud as I was doing it.
You do
Believe
hear.
it.
You do hear Azir run up him, and the ogre come to surprise because his upper half is actually above the fog. So when Azir, you pop out above the stab of the neck.
Vincent saw it!
White surprise, and Vincent, you do see this happen as you see Azir do his backflip and disappear into the fog, and the ogre slam down into the fog beneath it. And as he falls down, the wooden fort on his back busts open, and the goblins are now on top of his body on the ground around him.
When I see him come out of it and do that, I wink and give him a finger gun, but he can't see the wink because it's under the eye patch.
I was gonna say
David,
he would just assume you're blinking.
by the way, I'm assuming that Ocelot is in the audience for all this. Is that true?
That's I guess up to Jack.
Well, I'll have to ask Tony later if he went to watch this or not.
Okay, well, David, be sure that Tony knows that if he was here watching it, I'm gonna need a song.
Oh, don't worry. You'll get a song if he was here.
And now it's Relentless's turn to show these goblins what fucking cat monks are for.
You guys remember that one time Relentless just jumped around? And
He's not even talking, just flurry of blows.
I have a feeling I know what he's gonna do.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I can't believe that.
I'm so sorry, Relentless.
You furious of blows. You have another attack?
Oh!
I could tell you not to roll damage because he's getting deleted from existence, but it makes the little thing show up to make it easier. Okay. So you swing twice into the fog, knowing one's got it in front of you, trying to get a feel for him, and you get a good stab on him, but you feel it just wasn't enough. And then you decide the guy next to him doesn't need to have a head anymore, and you swing in a hook-like thing, and you feel your blade slice through something, and you feel something bump against your leg, and you look down, and the goblin's head is there. And as you look over in the fog, the goblin's body goes flopping to the ground.
Yeah, so that was I attacked on the first one, and that was just kind of like I couldn't hit this guy, and out of frustration, I just punched to the right, similar to the way Hulk punches Thor. Just out of frustration that I couldn't hit this guy, and I just managed to hit that. So
That works perfectly.
decapitation on the gladiator field.
Goblin 17, after being stabbed by you, will reach up and try and get you. But he will miss. This one will shoot down at Hrothgar. And it will go right into your shoulder, giving you a stinging pain. And this one will look up and fire at you and miss. You're up.
How dare you, you goblin piece of shit.
Tell me what you're doing.
I'm gonna smack him in the face. I'm gonna stab him with a spiritual weapon because he's an
You're
asshole.
going to attack the goblin.
Yes. He
All right.
shot me.
Do -5 in the modifiers. Click on that before you attack him.
Fair point. Also, I can no longer see. There it is. Combat apparently takes away my spell 2 or level 2 spells because I don't have any slots. Even though spiritual weapons
It's
are there.
because you probably didn't have them prepped.
Oh no, it's prepped. It was just because combat. I have no more additional slots to cast those
Yeah.
spells.
If
Oh,
you,
it
if
takes
you
them
are
away?
Mm-hmm.
combat at the
Oh,
mode,
wow, that's funny.
yeah, it'll take them. Did you already use them all though?
Yeah, I used one last time and one this time.
If you do want to see the stuff that's already gone, you can switch your mode to standard at the bottom left.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Okay.
Where do I put said -5?
If you look
Like
under
where-
the chat, there's a modifier. There's one down there that you
gotcha.
click on it for -5.
Yeah, guys can't move it away from things.
Wait, where is your spiritual weapon? Is still on the other end, right?
Yeah, it's still like it's actually right between Relentless and his ear.
Okay, so you're attacking one of those goblins down there.
Right. Would it still be minus then?
Just do it at no disadvantage.
No disadvantage.
Not -5, disadvantage.
Ah, understood.
Because you can't actually see what you're swinging at. But you still seem to land a hit. Sorry, I thought you were trying to attack the one that shot the arrow at you. You gonna hit him with damage?
Yeah. Bye, Felicia.
You feel your magic blade hit something and feel it go to the ground. And Relentless, you see the blade swing through the fog and a goblin collapse in front of you. All right, you? What else you got?
I see my problem. I kept thinking my crossbow has way more shots used on it than I have actually done. Because every time I click the...
Don't click your
dice to
crossbow,
shoot.
it automatically does it when you do the
Exactly.
attack.
There we go. A shot to your face.
All right. The crowd is losing its mind at everything they're seeing happen. And a couple of cheers go out when Azir, you slayed your ogre and it disappeared into the fog, and they can hear the scrap happening inside. What the fuck?
Critting machine tonight.
So you see her swing it this time, and as she brings it over. She just goes straight through its elbow, across its chest, up to the other side of its elbow, cutting it in half as it falls and slumps to the ground. And the crowd lets out another mighty cheer for a kill they see. Goblin 8, which, fires its bow at Hrothgar and misses. Hrothgar, you're up.
Alright, let's fuck this guy up. Ruckless. That was good damage. Bonus attack. Again. Ooh, I killed him.
Would you like to describe it, or should I?
It's real simple. He swings left, he swings right, and with each swing, another knee goes away. And this thing just falls.
As it flops down in front of you, the goblins come flopping down right to you. Azir Relentless. You hear some skittering about and then some wild swings, but none of you seem to get hit. Vincent, you're up.
Swing and a miss.
You see an ice bolt go flying past you and slamming into the ground next to you, Hrothgar. Azir, you're up. And to this, it isn't actually going into the crowd. It's stopped by the wall because it can't get up over it, but it is effectively spreading around. So what are you doing, Azir? Travis.
Sorry, I had myself muted. I said 1 second, and then I said I didn't mean to do that. Shit. I don't know. Why are you like this? No. What is this? Okay. So basically, I'm going to use all my move. Well, first off, I'm going to be like, Relentless, you got this, boy. And then I'm going to use all my movement, and then I'm going to cunning action to use a dash action. And I am going to bolt on over there to help out my bro.
As you go running away, the goblin swings wildly at you. And misses, of course.
Fucking get out of here, goblin. And I'm gonna exit the fog. And just Troy this motherfucker.
Is that the hopping neck meat stab?
Yep.
And instant death.
So you come running out of the fog and stab this one straight through its chest, pressing it into the ground. Azir.
And then before it's Relentless's turn, I just look at the other goblins and give them a little wave high. I finally feel like combat's working for this character for the first time since we started.
Yeah, melees have it rough for the first couple levels, but then they get really good at what they do.
Plus, I feel like my cool points are going way up today.
The flips in the Rock and Roll Museum theatrics are pretty good.
I'm Brad Pitt, guys.
I'm gonna grab this goblin 16 by the throat.
Give me athletics.
Show me potato salad.
Oh my god. I've had my Hero
You
Academia
reach
battle
through the
music.
mist, but you don't feel anything.
Can I still punch him?
Yes.
You felt him that time.
Yeah. Fuck off.
You reach through the air, and then you turn and you give a quick jab, thinking, no, he's to my right, and you feel it connect solid, and you hear a slump to the ground.
Damn cat ears, boy.
Are you going to move, or end your turn?
Let me see here. I'm not gonna move there yet. Hold on a second. I'm gonna check something.
You haven't moved, so you can move with your feline thing, by the way.
That's a good 60. Can attack again, yes? No?
No, because grab was an action, and your other attack was your punch. And you didn't use Fury of Blows this time. This goblin turns to see a giant cat man running out at him, and he swings wildly and just stands there trying to poke at you, and you just like lean back a little. Okay, you're up.
We're gonna fly down, and I'm gonna go with the mace this time.
Oh my god. Ball, save us.
Hey, yo. He dead!
All right, by the way, the thing you got was you do 3 standard critical hits to the target.
So,
But I knew it wouldn't even survive that. That means you would literally do quadruple crit damage. You would have had to add 2 more d6 or tripled.
Can I do that just for fun?
Yeah, fine. Roll 2 more d6
show
on him.
me mashed potatoes.
Never mind. I took him away, so just roll 2 d6 into the chat window.
Woohoo.
Yeah.
Is there even a paste left of
By the
him,
way-
or is he just mixed with the
Like
sand?
you hit him so hard, you smash down into him, and his arms go flying off to the side, and those are the only recognizable pieces of him around.
Oh,
'Cause
that was
the rest
Goblin.
of it is a mush.
Oh yeah, Goblin 6 already got taken care of. He was that asshole that shot me. Spiritual weapons too far away to bother with.
You hear some walking around. Well, most of you guys hear like faint walking. Well,
Oh, I'm sorry, guys.
and whatnot. The crowd is losing
wine
their
is-
mind at Yu's thing, and now it's Hrothgar's turn.
I like to imagine that it was kind of like boom, boom, clap. But instead of the boom, boom, it's the mace smashing into the sand, into the mush.
I like to
Yeah.
imagine it's from A Knight's Tale, where they're just doing "We Will Rock You."
Look,
Okay with
I did four critical hits, yeah. The first one killed him. I just kept hitting.
Wait.
Oh, sorry.
That wouldn't have mattered. It's a +2 to AC against that target till the end of your next turn.
So as you
Isn't
guys
that
hear the
What target?
boom booms from the mist, I slowly walk out, maul in hand, and I'm just looking real proud, but there's still that wild-eyed rage. And I just rear back real slowly and deliberately so that I can see into my eyes and know that its impending doom is coming. And I drop the hammer next to this follower of Ball and crush it.
There
I
is
think my
nothing
favorite-
left of this goblin.
I think my
It is-
absolute favorite thing about Hrothgar is when you look at him right now in the combat tracker, he's got like 10 lines of effects on him.
I know. I might be the
There's
power gamer of the group.
nothing left of that goblin. He is a flat splat on the ground. And the crowd erupts into massive cheers as that happens. And the gates begin to open. And you see a guy you hadn't seen before come running out. And he's just like running out into the arena, running towards the center, and then realizes what he's running towards and just stops. And he's just puts his hands together, and you magically hear at 3 times or 10 times normal volume, "Let's hear it for the BloodCats getting through the beasts." And the crowd erupts even louder.
Assuming he's a cleric and using thaumaturgy, it's 3 times.
Then 3 times louder. And Azir, you retrieve your endless encounter after a couple of seconds of like reaching for it.
That's why I ran over here.
Vincent is still up on a pillar, and
I shall retrieve him this time.
Vincent, this time you get a helping hand down from the pillar.
I don't have to swan dive. Yay!
And you guys all retreat through the gate. And you hear the guy is standing there, and he's like, "Man, that was impressive. If you guys are ready, you got 2 more to go. How do you feel?"
Hrothgar is leaning on Relentless because he
I
is
believe
now
we
at
could-
exhaustion level 2.
I believe we could stand for a rest.
Well, this time you only got 40 minutes until your next fight. Then after
Oh,
that,
spin
it'll
action
probably
laws.
be entirely shorter.
No,
But that is
yeah,
where we're going to end it tonight.
Okay.
Well,
job,
while
guys.
we're-
Good night,
Post
everybody.
connection loss.
You can end it, please, God. Every time!
You keep this on a certain schedule at least.